KAMIKAZE-FOX coming to you from the Phoenix Motorsports GT3 Gunslinger Series here at Spa. And I am going to be joined in the booth today by Six Gun Johnny. He is going to be the lead commentator. This is his league, his series. I'm just here to co-commentate. So we wait for him to come back. He's running down the, going over some track information with the drivers. So we wait for him to rejoin us. This is going to be a Spa. This is going to be a two-race format. Looks like they're both going to be 50-minute races, one in the dry, one in the wet. We wait for one more other driver to join up, and we wait for Johnny to come back. So we take a look at some of these drivers here. We've got Hayne. Looks like he's in the Audi, maybe? Death Pusher and Bentley. Matt Spock's in the Porsche 911. Hendrick looks like he's rocking the McLaren. Snoopa Doopa in the Lamborghini. Winchester in the big burly Mercedes. Same with...
Yeah, what? Okay, you're right. Okay.
And T-Bax is in the Lamborghini. One Space is in the Mercedes. And Ryan Wingate will be in the Lamborghini. Ghost rocking the Bentley as well. Stimpy looks like he's also in a Bentley GT3.
All right. I'm starting the stream now. Actually, here we go. So the room is starting, and are you streaming right now, Lance?
I am.
All right. Hey, good deal. If I'm on your air, hi.
That's Six Gun Johnny here. This is Phoenix Motorsports, as we were saying. This is GT3 Gunslinger Series here at Spa-Francorchamps. Johnny's going to be co-commentating or lead commentating today. It's his series, his league, his do-rag.
My do-rag, yeah. All right. Well, Lance, I tell you what, it's a pleasure having you on board with us for this Gunslinger Series. GT3 is always an exciting series to watch and to commentate, and Spa is always a kick-ass track to race on. So with that said, I'm about to start my stream, and we'll get busy here. So you might want to turn it down because I scream and yell like a little girl at first. So stick around and I'll introduce you, and then you can come say hi as well. Spa. All right, here we go. Race one. Here we go. Race one. All right, here we go. Start broadcast now. All right, race fans. Hey, you know what time it is. Six Gun Johnny broadcasting live from the Fortress Speed with the Ministry of Speed, and of course, Phoenix Motorsports. Joining me in the booth, besides Wallace the Dog, is Lance, Mr. KAMIKAZE-FOX. Lance, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us today. I forget what league you're in. I forget what series that you commentate for, man. You do so many. You're a worldly guy. What are you doing now lately, Lance?
It's been a busy race weekend. Commentate for SRL and IRL, multiple series there. International Racing League. I commentate for the F2 Championship, which will be running tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they'll be running round. Oh, where are they? They are round 17 at Baku, Azerbaijan.
Woo, and that's a good track.
Today I raced in the 1.2 hours of Sonoma in the SRL IMSA series, rocking the Corvette GTE car, and finished fourth today.
Nice.
And then I also commentate for the SRL F1 League as well, which alternates weekends with the IMSA series for now. I commentate for two, race in one, and here I am doing another one tonight. So
yes.
Busy race weekend. Not to mention, I'm still live, still trying to watch the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Yeah, you got
live stream this as well.
You need 3 eyes, 4 eyes in your in your head there, and yes, 2 more hands. But let's get to the action here on the track here. Out on the track right now, we're watching Ghost, winner of 3 races consecutively, except the very last race at Long Beach, where he went end over end in turn 1, and unfortunately the rules state if you have to reset to the track, you need to retire automatically, quickly, and as fast as you possibly can. He did not. Zebra and I dropped the ball there. We were just glad that he got out of turn 1 because cars were coming. So he reset to the track, got back on, finished 4th, I believe it was. And subsequently, we had to deduct all his points for the second race and basically give him a DNF. Everybody else moved up a place in the points, and they scored a little bit, a couple more points there. But Gross from Australia, obviously a very fast driver, solid in that Bentley. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. We were messaging him. Actually, I was messaging him on the back channel, and he was a little upset about the points loss. He knew he was going to get in trouble behind that, but he said he's going to try to redeem himself, come back strong, and he was not only going to win 3 in a row, he was going to go for this weekend a sweep and next weekend a sweep. So next weekend we're going to Watkins Glen, another great track. So we'll see what Ghost has up his sleeve tonight. So he's been practicing pretty hard. He's got some fast times here. He's on his hot lap now, 16 minutes and 51 seconds to go. I'll tell you what, Lance, I know you're a GT3 driver. What car do you favor?
Well, the GT3 cars, unfortunately, my personal preference would be the Bentley. But under these circumstances where you guys have a default setup and it's set to stable, the Bentleys are notorious for understeer, and this is a very understeery type track. The Mercedes were looking strong in practice the other night. Looks like they were dialed in even under the default setup. Mm-hmm. So I'm willing to bet on the Mercedes tonight. The Mercedes AMG and the McLaren, if they can get a grasp on the handling on the McLaren.
Well, the McLaren, I don't see any of our drivers shining too brightly with that one, but the Mercedes, we have a couple of very strong Mercedes drivers. Nestoza, One Space, Winchester. These guys right here are breakneck speed, fast. I mean, they're definitely not bottle rockets without sticks, man. These guys got pace. These guys got control, and that Mercedes has legs down that straightaway, man. I mean, it'll sail. Now for the twisty bits, it looks like the Porsche's been pretty fast in this particular part of the track that he's in right now. But overall, I agree with you with the Mercedes. I think that's going to be the car to watch tonight as far as speed and agility and drivability tonight. These are 2 50-minute sessions. The first race, obviously, sunshine and sticky tires, as Donnie Staubis likes to say, rainbows and unicorns. But the second race, well, that's going to be a whole different story. So stick around for that kind of action there. It'll be a pre-dawn race start with some haze, some fog, and then it'll follow up or end toward the end of the race with light rain. So, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys transition through all those particular weather patterns. So here comes Ghost around for his second lap here. Let's see if he clocks the time. He's got cooking the oven of speed. There it is to the top, 2:22.014. He was clocking at 2:20 in practice, so he's 2 seconds off his fast lap there. But look at One Space with a 2:21.301. So it's getting pretty hectic out there. Let's see where everybody's at here. Just trying to take a look here and see where. We got. You're in the wall. Hey, what? What the heck? KAMIKAZE-FOX in the wall there. Holy smoke.
Yeah, I can't spectate yet, so.
Well, if you got to go retire, we got to go retire.
Monitor.
Retire, then monitor. There you go. And then you should be able to jump right in there and check it all out. I was like, what the heck? Who's this guy crashing? Oh, it's you. So on board with Dragon, he moves up to P6 there with a 2:44.836. We've seen paint try faster than that, but hey, Dragon from Dallas, Texas, driving the Cadillac, I believe it is. David Curry's been a long-time friend of mine, so we'll see if he can't fare pretty well tonight. He's pretty good in some of the other races. Hasn't won anything yet, but certainly a contender for a good show. So he likes that side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel action, and hopefully he'll give us a little bit of that tonight. Into the bus stop, we go with the Dragon.
And as I said, I mean, the Mercedes are already 1-2 fastest.
Yeah, that's what I said. One Space in Nestoza. Look at that. Just not even 4,000, what is that, 400ths of a second? What is it? How do you say that?
4/10 of a second.
4/10, yeah. So, yeah, a baby's eyelash. That's the gap there, man. So, I think the other night we had like 6 cars, 7 cars within a half a second of each other, man. I mean, it was just amazing. So these guys right here, Nestoza definitely has got a lot of pace. He was fast at Bathurst. I think finished second both times. He's fast just about anywhere we take him. Hasn't put the seal on the win yet, but he's getting close. This may be his night. One space. I'll tell you what, this guy here, we had the vintage race at Le Mans toward the end of the year. I threw a little soiree there. One space showed up. We were driving those old Porsches and old Ford GTs. He runs an hour-long race, and on the last lap, about 1,000 feet from the start-finish line, he had passed a bunch of cars, made it up to second spot, was going to take the second spot, ran out of fuel right before that Ford chicane, dude. I mean, he was just like, oh my God, he was in tears, just crying, weeping.
And that's the one thing I can say about this game versus a lot of the other games. When you run out of fuel, I mean, the game is not forgiving. You're out of fuel, you're done.
Let's go to the top. Go ahead.
In F1 2019 and in Gran Turismo, when you run out of fuel, there's always that little bit of reserve where you can coast to try and get you around the rest of the track. But this game is basically you're shut down. You're done. You're
shut down. Yeah. And then nobody can push you either. There's been some games out there that somebody could push you back a little bit, but this game here, that doesn't happen. And I like that. That forces guys to think and to put themselves out there. So it's Nestoza Ghost now taking the second step. One space dropping down a notch. Mr. Hayne moving up nicely here. Mr. Hayne, our current points champion. I'll tell you what. Father of Todd Hayne and Adam Hayne. These two guys here are into the wall. Mr. Hayne smashing it hard in that Audi Rapa car. Out Front Racing's number 2 driver. Done for qualifying here. As far as this session is, as far as this lap is concerned,
he is back in the pits. That's going to lock him in at the 2:21.380. Good enough for 4th so far, but it's probably not going to stay that way.
No. These guys are heating up. They got 10 minutes and 53 seconds to go here. I expect to see Roast up there. I expect to see. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Hang on. Let me see here.
And we do pick up Ryan Wingate here. He's in the Lamborghini, the GT3 Hurricane.
It's called Huracan.
And he's got some traffic in front of him, behind him. So he's going to be able to get a little bit of a slipstream here on the backside of the track. Oh, we see one of the Cadillacs go straight off. Looks like he's getting out of the way, letting the Mercedes there.
Okay, that was oh boy, look at that Mercedes, Lamborghini, and Bentley, and that's the Cadillac of David Curry right there.
Oh, and the Bentley tries to go to the inside.
I saw that.
This is qualifying, guys. This is qualifying.
It's not racing. Yeah, that's Ghost. Again, Ghost being very impatient. That's cost him a couple of times. He ended up on his lid at Bathurst and at Long Beach by being the same way here, trying to force the issue.
And that Bentley, like I said earlier, I mean, on a stable default setup, there's a lot of understeer built into that Bentley as it is, and he's probably getting some aero wash off of that Hurricane in front of him, so there's a lot less air on that front end, so he's going to be struggling through the high-speed sections, especially this left-hander up here. He's going to probably run wide. Out to the curb he goes.
Oh, boy, here he goes. On board now with Ghost as he heads to the final chicane here.
Oh, the Mercedes goes around right in front of Wingate.
Yeah, he makes it through there. Nicely done by
Ryan.
That
was close.
Woo! Wow. Ryan is on top of it there. Good job there from Ryan Wingate. Boise, Idaho is where he calls home. Locksmith by trade, but tonight a GT3 driver. And Ghost again harassing the Lamborghini and heading toward the Rouge. But Winchester dropping the ball right there and spinning out of that last chicane. Just carried a little bit too much speed there.
And it's funny, you see that Ryan Wingate, he's 7th quickest after that lap, and he lost a lot of time at that chicane at the end because of the spin from Winchester. So Wingate definitely got more speed in that Hurricane than that time's going to tell you.
I'm telling you, we look for him at the top step. Ryan has been improving his race, substantially in these last, 10, 15 races that we've had in different series and different cars. He's just consistently improving. Well, I don't know about right now, but
he blows the corner of Les Combs coming off of the Kemmel Straight, so I think the Bentley behind him probably rattled him a little bit. And that's it's so inviting at Spa because it's such a fast track that it's so inviting that you want to get a slipstream off of the car in front, but you play a dangerous game like that when you're doing that during qualifying. And now he looks like he's struggling with rear end grip. almost lost the car there again.
He's probably heated up the back tire, so he just needs to slow down, get the car back underneath him. He's got 7 minutes and 56 seconds to get another one in there. I'd go in and put some tires on, maybe put some softs on or something like that, and just take another bite at it. But right now, on board with Farq. This is another driver in a Bentley that has been pretty strong. A quiet guy, but definitely has the pace. And we'll see where he ends up right here. He's currently at 12th. Hasn't clocked the time yet. Takes it a little bit wide there. Headed toward the final chicane here. Or what is this? A hairpin or chicane? I don't know. What do you want to call this?
I refer to it as a chicane, and
a chicane, right?
That is the technical term for it on the track map.
So here he comes across the stripe here. What does Farq got cooking in the oven of speed? Let's find out. And nothing. Or I guess this was his out lap. Okay, my bad. Oh, there you go.
It was either that or he invalidated his time early.
Yeah, he may have. Yeah, he may have. So we'll come back and check on him in a minute. Who hasn't clocked the time here? This man right here, Stimpy 40 and Hendrick 88 Fly. Hendrick, probably one of the best rain racers in simulation that I've ever come across or ever had the opportunity to advance in that direction. Certainly capable of getting it done anywhere. He's got multiple race wins in different series: IndyCar, Formula One. I'm sorry, not Formula One. Ferrari Challenge, Lamborghini Super Trofeo, GT3. He's got wins in everything. NASCAR. He's a NASCAR champion. He just hasn't been able to find his pace here lately. In the last 2 or 3 races, he just hasn't been. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. I guess he hasn't had his head wrapped around it or something like that. But tonight he says he's feeling good. We're looking for a good showing from Mr. Kindred here, and hopefully we'll see him at least on the podium. So here we go on board with Mr. Kindred, the number 1 driver for Outfront Racing. That was teammates with David Hayne that you saw crash a minute ago there in the Rapa Audi. But Hendrick again headed toward what do they call this back straightaway here that comes toward the final chicane?
Well, there's Blanchemont is the big sweeping left-hander that leads up to the chicane.
Right.
But really, when you come out of
nice, he's down to the chicane there, coming on the straightaway here.
Yeah, that's a good exit out of the chicane, staying off of those big sausage curves like that. Keep the power down.
Boom! Where does he go? Up to
quickest.
P6. Yeah, nicely done there. 222.86, or is that 882? There you go. So Nestoza still holding the top step with the 219.626. Ghost with a 219.892. Matzbox in the Porsche, very nicely done there. 220. Matzbox winning both races back to back at Imola in the rain, full wet weather races. Matzbox dominating there. Had a good running at Daytona as well. So Mr. Haynes still currently at P5, but I think that's it for him, right? He's not going to be able to move around too much more.
Well, he was locked in at that 221.380, and that was good enough for 4th at the time. So he has dropped 1 spot.
He's coming out now. He's on the track. He's heading out of the pits now. So let's see if Mr. Hayne can do something with the badly damaged Audi there. I guess they affected some repairs.
It's a little banged up there on the windshield.
Yeah, a little bit banged up. Well, hey, he does like to tip a couple back, so I'm sure it's real car in the world looks like this as well. So it is what it is.
We had the 1.2 hours of Sonoma today at SRL, and one of the GTs that collided with the 4G. One of the 4 GTs that had collided with one of the LMP2 cars. Oh. And the thing just looked like just wrecked tinfoil by the time the race was over. And Rob Small was able to be credited with a 3rd place finish, luckily, but the car was just so badly damaged after that impact. Sonoma's a tough track. It's 1 lane, 1 groove, and you got multiple classes running around there like that, and something was bound to happen, and unfortunately Rob had gotten the short end of the stick on that. So
yeah,
be interesting to see what Hayne can do here with a semi-damaged car. Luckily it'll be fixed before the race, but if he can improve his time, it'll be a pretty impressive run here with 3 minutes left to play in the session.
I think he will. Again, as I said, he is the current points champion. His 2 sons are the fastest guys that I know in motorsport simulation. Adam Hayne, the youngest, holds the all-time track record at Bathurst in the V8 Supercar. I can't remember what it is right offhand, but it's something that's absolutely ridiculously fast. I actually saw him do it. Him and his brother, they were racing each other. He had it, then his brother took it, and then Adam got it back. So I mean, they were just breaking records left and right. These guys are professional, great drivers. Unfortunately, they're not here with us today. They're iRacing ladies. Look at this. There's Ghost again, harassing some of the outlap drivers here. But again, Ghost. Ah! Whoa, Mr. Hay moving over just in time.
Moves out of the way to let that Bentley through.
Wow. I don't know.
That is some very aggressive driving on qualifying by that Bentley Continental on Ghost.
I'm thinking he is a little bit frustrated, but he's got to understand. He's got to take it easy, man. I mean, slow is fast. That's the old adage. But taking chances like that, putting these drivers out there, could incur him another penalty if he gets into contact with that.
He's looking for that extra 0.3 of a second to try and snatch that pole position away from Nestoza, but he keeps running into traffic, and I don't know if that's going to...
If he was smart, he would use one.
Traffic.
He would use one of these cars as a pick and as a drafting help here, and pull him along here. You may gain that time, but okay, here comes Mr. Hayne crossing the stripe now. He's on his hot lap now. He had his best lap delta is red because he was just on his hot lap here, but he's going to try to pull one down. He's got 53 seconds left, so this is his only last chance here.
Yeah, it's basically a last-ditch effort by Hayne to try and put in a quick lap. Ghost he did improve his time, but not his position. He improved his time by about 0.04 of a second, so he's still 0.2 off. He might get a little bit of a toe off of this Porsche in front of him. That's Farquhar on the Porsche.
Farq, yeah, Farq there. Okay, there you go. I thought he was in the Bentley.
That's Shrek.
Farquhar, yeah. Farquhar.
That's the bad guy in Shrek. A little bit of snap oversteer by the Bentley and Ghost.
Ooh, I'm watching Mr. Hayne. He's right behind him there. He's laying it down. He's putting the thunder down. Get off the grass. Ah! Nicely done. A bus stop chicane on top of the mountain here. He's on his way down with a head of steam.
Oh, the round goes Ghost, and it's going to be right in front of Mr. Haynes' car.
Mr. Haynes
got to avoid him.
Just didn't even lose a second there on that. He just basically adjusted his line, saw plenty of time there. I told you Ghost was going to push too hard and make a mistake, and sure enough, it manifested. It's a good thing he didn't take one of these drivers out here, but look at Mr. Hayes stay within the lines and boundaries of the track here. He's going to have this is going to be a great run. He's definitely going to improve his position. I don't think it's going to be fast enough for that pole, but he's definitely not going to finish where he started here. He's got that store of traffic in front of him there. I don't know who that is. That is a Farquhar. Farquhar. Oh, flash your lights, Mr. Hayes. Whoa. On the rumble strips there.
Snap oversteer again. And there's a lot of that on these stable setups on a lot of these cars. There's a lot of understeer built into the stable default setup, and it causes a lot of snap oversteer because the guys are turning the wheel so much to try and get the front end to grip. And then when it finally does, it wants to bring that back end around on some of these cars. You see this Mercedes behind him as well is definitely using him as a slipstream. Down to the chicane. Qualifying is up.
Oh, he blew it!
He blows the corner.
Oh, no! Mr. Hayes.
He knows it, too. He's going to be kicking himself in the butt on that one.
My God. Mr. Hayes dropping the ball right there and retiring there. I don't know what happened, but he just...
Oh, and Ryan Wingate blows it at the chicane as well.
Oh, there he is. Oh, my God. Rosta 236 spun that bad boy around with
pick
the
up Winchester in the Mercedes.
And
he's coming down to the chicane as well in the golf-colored Mercedes.
Winchester, a full-time pole dancer, part-time GT3 driver. Here he comes across the stripe. And what's he got cooking in the oven of speed? Does he improve his time and position? He does not. So here comes Snupa.
Yep, Snoop in the Lamborghini. He's coming up to the chicane now.
Snoop changing cars, was in the Ferrari the last few races here. Not happy with that Ferrari. Sold out to the Bull. Oh, he's way off there. That's 4 off. Not going to be good for the qualifying time here. Let's see what he got.
And that's probably going to invalidate his time.
Yeah, I probably sure did. That's it. Qualifying is over. The race is about to start. Thanks again for joining us. Cisco Johnny, Wallace the Dog, and of course, KAMIKAZE-FOX, broadcasting live right here from the Fortress Speed and Phoenix Motorsports. I appreciate y'all guys stopping by and kicking it with us. Quick prayer. Father, in the name of Jesus, we just ask for your blessing over these drivers, over their families, and over this event. Give us a spirit of sportsmanship and camaraderie. Thank you for the things that you give us, Father, and of course, thank you for the things you keep from us. Father, we ask for healing, health, and restoration in all our lives. Ask us to be the men you want us to be. We pray for that, Father, and we just ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Gotta love Jesus, Lance. Gotta love Jesus.
Nothing wrong with that.
So, nothing wrong with that. All right, we pray for Jesus. All right, so here we are. So what we'll do here, Lance, is retire and spectate. And yes, and monitor. And I'll click over it right there to Nestoza, looking down at the grid there. So it's going to be a Mercedes, Bentley, Porsche, Mercedes, Audi, Lamborghini, Bentley, Mercedes, Audi, Cadillac, and I don't know what T-Bax is in.
That's the Lamborghini.
He's in a Lamborghini?
He's in a Lamborghini, followed by another Lamborghini, followed by a Bentley, and then the GMG Porsche by Farq.
There you
rounding out your top 14 drivers for today's event.
Nice. Got a great grid, great grid here. All these
it's a good mix of cars, and it's impressive to see the times and the speeds of some of these cars. Ghost, I think, is going to be one to definitely watch out for. Very aggressive in qualifying, obviously.
Yes.
Can he keep it on track, I think, is going to be the key thing there. I still say the Mercedes are the two cars to beat. Nestoza and, I don't know, whoever that is.
One space is one space. One space. Yeah.
I think those two are going to be the ones to watch, and I really think that Matchbox and the Porsche, he could definitely be a spoiler. And then you always got to keep your eye on Mr. Haid in the Audi. As long as he doesn't run into any issues, he could definitely be a spoiler as well. So the top six drivers are really the real tough competition.
Absolutely.
And I think Winchester back there in the Gulf-colored Mercedes, he might be the dark horse in this competition.
He's another Ghost-like driver, man. I mean, he's very aggressive when it needs to be. He's not afraid to put the bumper on your, on the rear end there and send you for a loop. So here we go. We're off.
The lights are out. Time to run what you brung as they head down into turn one.
Woo! Here we go.
And already the inside.
Nestoza still holding the lead there. And it's still Matchbox. The Porsche is coming up there.
Matchbox, so he's got to the inside of Ghost as he heads down.
No, they're side by side.
You can't go side by side through Eau Rouge. It's not going to work.
Easy, guys. There.
They've already made contact, and they're on Ghost. And Ghost is into the wall.
No, but he saves it. No damage on the Ghost machine. So he saves it there with Matchbox.
He's got a little bit of damage on the front splitter, and I knew that was going to happen. You can't go side by side into Eau Rouge, and right at the Taparadion is where he lost it, unfortunately. It's a little side-by-side contact.
So we knew that was going to happen. We didn't actually know, but we knew that Ghost was going to be aggressive, but not to the point of crashing himself out there. Matchbox was not going to give a line. He had a nose on him, I guess, trying to drive around the outside there as Ghost did.
And you know what? Through that melee, it's a 1-2 Mercedes as Nestoza in one space pick up where they left off during practice.
Yes, you're sure right about that.
Matchbox and Ryan Wingate moving up in the fourth spot. He's all over the back of Matchbox Porsche. Mr. Haid's still riding in fifth, so he hasn't lost the spot.
Like are they cautioning up? What are they doing? Like, no, I guess they're not. So Farq moving up the ladder here. What back here? Is he? Hang on a minute. What am I looking at? I don't see Farq here. Okay, I guess so. Okay, so it's Matchbox, Ryan Wingate, Mr. Hain, Death Pusher in P6. There we go. And right behind him is going to be Hendrick 88 in that actual, how do you say that? Control Vision, something like that. And it's another Audi. Followed by Winchester, Snoopa, Stippy, T-Bax, Dragon, and Ghost. 12 seconds back. So 12 seconds is the gap between first and last. Hendrick going a little wide there. So they're all about to wind it up here as they come to the final chicane for the last time. Leading him around is Nestoza. Now, as I said before, he's fast. He's been finishing. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Maybe today will be his time. So again, leading him around for the first lap. It's going to be a Mercedes as Kamikaze affected to here. So sorry. Yeah, did I say that right? Yeah, I did. But Nestoza leading him around here. 226, 503. I guess that's going to be about the average, man. I mean, they're not going to do the 219s and 220s.
Well, you're starting on full fuel for a 50-minute race, so times are going to be roughly in the 225, 226 area, which is good race pace around here. You see some of these other guys, they're off the pace in that first lap, but I mean, that was obviously because of some of the melee at the opening lap. As we're watching Death Pusher here, he's being pursued by Hendrick in the Audi. Now Hendrick's going to have a good run coming out of the top of Radion and down the Kemmel Straight. See if he can get a slipstream.
On board with Hendrick 88. Fly.
Oh, and Wingate looks like he was trying to make a move on Matt's box. Not close enough there at the end of the Kemmel Straight, though.
There he is right there. Yeah, he's definitely on the back of that Porsche there. That Lamborghini is, going a little wide there. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get those tires in that sandy area there. It'll just pull you right off into the wall. Look at that. Look at that wing on that Porsche. Man, it looks like a surfboard. Whoa, Wingate there. Gets right
very
up on the
wide
gearbox
coming out of there.
Yeah, I think he did that on purpose, just to kind of not try to avoid, give himself an out, should I say. Not hit Matt's box here, but this part right here of the track is very difficult for me. Carry a lot of speed here.
This is the double gauche, is what they refer that to as, and it's notorious for understeer. Just as it is, it's a little bit of off camber to the right, and the car just wants to wash out wide, no matter what you want to do. So it's a tough part of the track, anyways. And then you head down to this little section here, a couple of left-right switchbacks.
Yeah, Porsche laid it down. Get off those rumble strips. Get off those rumble strips.
And then once you come out of campus, which is where they're at now, campus, once you come out of there, it's pretty much full song all the way to that slight dog leg, Blanchemont in the backstretch here.
Whoa. Wingate going a little wide. I'm on board now with Ryan as he's we're watching the Porsche of Matt's box here. Ooh, Matt's box gets a little bit of grass there. Ryan Wingate stays off. Oh, there you go. He's got the run now.
He's got a good run.
Can he get underneath him here? He's
going to try to do inside. Can he go deep into the brakes?
And Matt's side by side.
A little bit of a crossover move. Tries to get the power down. Can't make it work.
Oh, good try.
And while these two are battling it out, Mr. Hate's starting to catch this battle, so we're about to have a 3-car battle for the 3rd spot, as these two have been battling it out, and Hate's been closing the gap.
So it's going to be
We've also got a battle at the front now, because we've got one space out in front of Nestoza.
Yeah. Oh, look at this time, though. 2:21.083. So one space is putting him down and picking him up here. He is putting the heat on him. Look at Nestoza right now in the draft of one space, headed toward the bus stop chicane here. And they're moving fast now. I believe that Nestoza will try to make a move here. If not, certainly in the next couple of corners here. He's going to want that lead back from one space as fast as he can get it. Brian Bedlow definitely will hold on to that lead, and he's not one to be trifled with for sure. One space, Brian is his real name, but I don't know, man. How close do you want to be when you're maneuvering around like that? As far as the aero wash on these cars, you don't want to be that close to some of these critical corners here. Obviously, we just saw.
And that corner that they just came through there is that downhill right-hander, and again, it's a lot like the other corner that we talked about a couple minutes ago. It's a little bit of off camber, and the car just wants to wash out. And this corner, this is the double gauche here, is where they're running through now, and they're going to be going pretty slow, I would imagine, trying to keep the front end from washing out.
Let's take a look at the track map of the speedo here. 82 miles an hour in 3rd gear. This is a 3rd gear corner here. Under 100, but still moving pretty fast here. Here he goes, picking up the speed. Over 100 now, 115. Rolls out of it. Carries nicely done there. Carries a lot of speed through there. Improves his lap delta time. Goes a little bit wide. Got to step those robo strips.
Now from here, they're going to be flat out. Nestoza is going to be able to catch that slipstream. As long as he dive in deep. As long as he can stick with him through Blanchemont here, through the left-hander, he can make a run towards the chicane.
Ooh. That
Don't think he's going to be close enough, though, to make a move, though.
Not at all. Whoa, wait a minute.
Look at that.
Whoa.
One stop blows the corner.
Side by side. What are they going to do? Oh, my God. Let's take a look.
Nestoza's got the more preferred line heading in there.
Nestoza does have the preferred line, doesn't he? The inside line is where you want to be, and he takes the lead back. Whoa, one space takes it wide. Whoa.
One space, and they're still side by side, and we saw this earlier, guys. It's not going to work heading into Eau Rouge. It's not going to work.
Man. Who's gonna? It's a game of chicken now. And Nestoza wisely backs out there.
Yes, he wisely backed out of there. You're going to tuck back into the slipstream, pick it up at Radion, and blast down the Kemmel Straight. He should have enough speed and be close enough to make a move heading to Les Cones at the end of the Kemmel Straight.
Wow, definitely a good side-by-side. Look at Wingate still on the back bumper of Matt's box there, followed by Mr. Hayes. So they're right there around the corner. And there's Nestoza again to put his nose in there. His Nestoza.
Let's close. And when they both go in the corner coming out of it, and they're side by side, head making it in the right-hander.
Oh my God! What happened there? Both of them dropped the ball right there. I wonder if the track slick right there.
Oh.
But, so Nestosa's got it back now.
Oh, and he's battling the oversteer, and it snaps on him. It snaps, and he's going to lose the position again.
Oh, that's 3 lead changes within a lap. Wow.
And while these two are battling it out, there's a 3-car battle behind him that is closing in. Matt's Box, Ryan Wingate, Mr. Hayde closing in on this battle for the lead.
Woo, man, I'll tell you what.
These two, I mean, they pulled out real far at the beginning of this stint, but with them switching back and forth like that and running off track and racing each other the way they are, they've given up a lot of time to these other 3 cars.
Oh, yeah, definitely. People don't understand. Look, he's talking now. Side-by-side racing slows you down. The best thing for them to do is stay.
And Nestosa now has lost a lot of time to one stop.
Yeah.
Or is it one space?
Yeah, one space. One stop. Well, it's one stop for him. He's going to try to do it in one stop, that's for sure. But, yeah, definitely he did. I wonder if he heated up his tires or anything like that. I wonder if he's lost a little bit of car control. But, yeah, it looks a little bit loose there. Let's find out how he rotates his car here on the final chicane. But, yeah, Nestosa had a lot of pace. Like I said, he backed up a little bit. It doesn't look too bad. Goes a little wide, but
doesn't look like there's any damage, but he may be battling a little bit of tire temperature.
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking he heated him up there. A gap now of a 1.4 between.
And it looks like Matt's Box and Ryan Wingate, Mr. Hayde have all separated themselves a little bit.
About a second.
Matt's Box been able to gap the Ryan Wingate, and Wingate's been able to gap Mr. Hayde. So everything's calm for now through there.
So Henrik has got around Death Pusher. And he's up to P6, Death Pusher down to P7.
And Death Pusher's actually getting some heat here from Winchester coming out of the first corner and down to Eau Rouge.
Ghost all by himself in P9.
Ghost is probably still kicking himself in the butt, and I'm pretty sure he's still battling some front end damage. The front splitter, he did put it into the wall ever so slightly. So he may be struggling with some handling issues from the aero. And Winchester now is in the slipstream coming down the Kemmel Straight here. Death Pusher's a Bentley. Not going to be close enough to make a move here, but
he's going to try. I guarantee it. That Mercedes of Winchester's is definitely.
He gets a good run coming out of there.
Woo! Tries to force the issue on the outside. Ooh. Oh, Death Pusher closing the door on him there. He takes a look at the inside.
Nose out. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, he's definitely randy to get around Death Pusher here. He's keen to go, but let's find out if Death Pusher's going to let him through there. He's trying to make that back into that Bentley, 20 feet wide.
Oh, and now the Mercedes struggles there. Snap oversteer again.
Yeah, definitely.
Gave up a huge chunk of time. And again, that's part of that is that dirty air, running in the wake of the car in front of you.
Wow. So Winchester has to back off a little bit here, but Nestosa now back. He was up to half a second. He's right at a second now, so he's I don't know if he's gained his footing or not, but 3 seconds is the gap between first and third place. Actually 2.9 now, so Matt's Box is definitely moving forward. He's just doing what he has to do, and Rosta wisely following behind him in the draft, not trying to force the issue. Knows that he's not fast enough or quick enough to get around, or close enough to get around Matt's Box yet. Maybe he's just waiting for him to make a mistake. Rosta goes wide there, way wide,
very wide, coming out of the dog leg there.
Yeah, so I don't think it's.
And here we go, Nestosa in one stop. Here we go, side by side at the chicane, one space, I should say, blows the corner and opens it up for Nestosa. I'm so used to saying one stop because of the Formula One races.
Yeah. So around the bend he goes, and one space backs out of it, and it's Nestosa go. Now is he going to race him up the hill? But look at that, Matt's Box within a second, 1.9. Now he's 2 seconds here. So Matt's Box is definitely gaining on these front 2 drivers here. Look at one space, gives him plenty of room.
Good line up the hill by one space.
For sure. Let's see here. Where is he at? Here he comes. He's in the draft now. Look at that. All these cars, single file running. He's taking a look. Oh, he slows it down. Whoa! Front end just locks up a little bit. That,
he's going to make contact with him. And he puts him. He punts him.
He slows down. Yeah, he slows down. He hits him back on.
Here
and
comes
Matt's Box.
Matt's Box is the point, and Ryan Wingate. It's a 4-car battle for the lead.
Ryan Wingate's going to try to make that move. He's going to take third spot. Is he going to do it? He
Wingate to the inside. Not going to be able to make it stick.
No, he did not. He backed off a little bit and says, nah, I can't, I don't want to do that.
Wingate loses the back end of the car. He's into the grass.
Oh, slow down, Ryan. Get that car back underneath you, buddy. And there's Mr. Hayne now on the back bumper of Rosta. So,
but Matchbox has caught one space. 3-car battle for the lead now.
Let's find out. Let's go on board with Matchbox and take a look at his windscreen here as one space is definitely backed off the gas there. Almost a second gap between him and Nestoza. Nestoza trying to put some ground between him and one space. Take some of that pressure off. Oh, Nestoza drops the ball. He spins around. It's a big
it's a massive crash.
No! Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
What has happened here? That was Nestoza spinning out here. And one space just went right into him there and flipped him over there. Oh, but Nestoza's still rolling. I think he is anyway. Let's find out. Where is he? There he's dropping down. No, he's upside down.
He's upside down.
Out.
He's going to be done for the race. And one space's Mercedes is about 2 feet shorter than it was a couple minutes ago.
Crashed.
Unbelievable. And through that, Matchbox is taking the lead. Oh, and they've gone into caution mode. He's got
to retire since he reset. He was upside down. He has to retire. That's the rules here. So hopefully,
unbelievable racing.
Wow.
35 minutes left to play in this session, and these guys are racing like it's the last lap.
Wow, that was great stuff there. He's got to retire. Let's see if he can do it. He's trying to bring that thing back. Now, I don't mind him staying in, but resetting to the track is absolutely unacceptable. He was on his lid, and so
that's pretty much day done. I mean, no matter how you want to look at it.
Yeah,
the gentleman's agreement, you're done for the day, and I hope that he respects that. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened, and if it looks like he's now one space is headed into the pits. He's going to have massive repairs to be done to that Mercedes. I mean, the front end is just absolutely crumpled.
They're clear to pit now.
T-Bax is moving in the Lamborghini to pit from 10th. Nestoza has reset. We'll see if he heads into the pits. I mean, he's gonna have to head into the pit. We'll see if he actually retires from the session, and that is unfortunate. That was some hardcore racing, and the Mercedes were looking the strongest all day. But I mean, unfortunately, it's just going to end in tears for these guys. Massive crash. Nestoza done for the day.
Yeah.
And really, Matchbox and Ryan Wingate. I mean, they come out on top of this, running 1-2. Mr. Hayde running 3rd. Hendrick has now worked his way up into 4th. Death Pusher 5th. Winchester 6th. Ghost, who had his atrocious start, is now up into 7th. Snow in 8th, and Stimpy is running in 9th. So I like the gentleman's agreement here. This really shows some maturity that you don't see in a lot of other leagues, that these guys are able to make this decision for full course caution on their own and maintain a race pace and a caution pace. I definitely want to give a shout out to your guys here. That's some good gentleman's agreement right there. You don't see that a lot in a lot of online racing leagues. So definitely the right call. And it's nice to see that happen in a game like this, because there is no caution. There's no full course caution in this game to begin with, which is absurd to me when you have an incident like that.
Yeah, that was definitely an incident. But they're bringing them around here. They're all lined up. We're picking it up here with Matchbox leading in P1. So Matchbox, as you said before, the dark horse, a spoiler. He was there. And when they dropped the ball, he picked it up. So now Rosta 236 Ryan Wingate has an opportunity to battle some of the best drivers up front here, Mr. Hayne and Matchbox. There's Hendrick. There's Death Pusher. I don't want to say these are second-tier drivers. These are all definitely first-tier drivers. They're all aggressive. But they're all respectful. So let's see if Rosta can hold his own here with this crowd, this rowdy bunch of Australians and mixed bag of Americans here. And let's see if we can't get a win here for the Idahoan. Is that how you say that? Idahoan?
I believe that would be the correct term, yes.
Sasquatch Motorsports #1 driver, sponsored by Dow Glassworks. Stop by the Dow Glassworks Facebook page there. If you'd like to be happy, if you'd like to put a smile on your face. No, Wallace, it's not with a D. It's T-A-O. Dow Glassworks, like Taoism. So, yeah, stop by there. Check it out. It's just a happy page. That's all I can tell you. Sponsored by the Wizard. So here we go. As we bring them around, I wonder if this is going to be a 1 lap or they're going to do 2 laps here under caution. 31 minutes and 58 seconds to go. Whoa.
Looks like he might be picking up the pace, and it looks like they're back. Oh, no, but we've got a spinner. Looks like they were back to, and it looks like that was T-Bax. It was Winchester that went around in the Mercedes. And it looks like he might have some front-end damage as well. Looks like
he does.
Oh, he's got some massive front-end damage.
And they're off. They're racing now, right?
Yeah, they are definitely back to full song. Matchbox, I mean, me personally, I would like to have seen him start the go from the start-finish line, but...
Whoa, Mr. Hayne. Rosta backs him up there, and Mr. Hayne has to slow down and get off the gas here, and that's Hendrick and Hayne now off for racing 3rd and 4th. Oh, Hendrick needs a good finish here. He's probably going to want to get around Mr. Hayne if he can. Again, Mr. Hayne, the points champion, so looks like they have the constructors in the pocket right now. But there's Ghost up to P6 right behind Death Pusher, so it's Bentley. So Ghost is coming back. He's going to try to force his way through there. You know he's going to try to do that with 30 minutes to go. He's got plenty of time. He's just got to stay within this lead lap group here. And I'm sure he's happy for that caution because that caught him right back up.
Yeah, that definitely packed things up a little bit. It's good to see them all racing front to back again. You see, look at this. One space is already making a move on Ghost for the 6th spot.
Yeah, he definitely had some pace. So, I mean,
and that Mercedes is still very banged up, but look, who is that? Oh, that's Hendrick. Hendrick off at Lescombs, and he has fallen back into 9th. So it looks like he ran into some issues at the end of the Kemmel Straight. And that does put Mr. Hayne into 3rd.
Whoa, Hendrick going off in the grass here, so he's definitely got some either damage or he's got some dirty tires, but he's got to slow way down there to get that car rotating. T-Bax right on his back bumper there. So Tyler Backus is going to try to make a move.
And now One Space is looking to make a move around Death Pusher for the 4th spot. Here he comes.
And he takes that spot. Oh, no,
it's going to be very close, and they're going to make... Mr. Hayne goes around.
Oh, no, what the heck's going on here, Mr. Hayne? Watch out, buddy. Oh, man.
And he's not moving the car. He's trying to stay out of the way. Unbelievable turn of events here on this restart.
Wow. So Alpha Racing now back 10th and 11th from 4th and 3rd and 4th. But wow, Rosa's still hanging on there, weathering the storm.
And look at this One Space back up into 3rd and looking to be in contention to retake the lead of this race here in the next couple laps. Unbelievable driving from the Hot Wheels Mercedes driver.
That's right.
Ghost has worked his way back into 4th.
He's only 3 seconds back off the back bumper of the leader there. So these times are from the leader, not from the car in front of him there. So it's interesting to see how Ghost has worked his way around here. Hasn't pitted yet, but I see that front end damage on that splitter there. It's ever so slight, but I don't know if that's going to be much of an issue. See that little bow there at the bottom?
He's definitely got a little crimp in it. He did put it into the wall ever so slightly at the top of Radion, but watching Stimpy trying to close in on Snow here, and
that's Snoop Dogg,
Snoop, that's right,
Snoopa Doopa, like Super Duper, but Snoopa Doopa. He's on a controller actually, and doing pretty dang good. But yeah, James Williams in that big Bentley
I can definitely sympathize with him being on a controller. I'm a pad driver myself, and this game is not very forgiving for us controller guys. So,
oh my God, yeah, it's definitely a wheel game. But hey, if you could get around here in a pad, you're awesome. That's for sure. So a lot of chatter going on in the game chat there. I'm seeing a lot of names pop up there. Whoa. Oh man, who is that? That's Stimpy there. Right behind him is going to be Snoopa.
Yep, so Stimpy looks like he made the move.
Yeah, he got it.
Snoopa Doopa, and looks like T-Bax is holding off DTF.
So Rosa less than a second. That's Dragon would be his name. 6-foot Dragon. I can't remember. His Dallas something. Blah blah blah. DT 6-foot.
And here we go.
Dragon.
One space trying to make a move on Wingate. They head down into the double gauche. Oh, and he goes very wide. Wingate's wide heading into that corner, and he's going to have to give up the spot. One space goes through.
No problem. Here comes Ghost. So if Roasted got rattled on Wingate, on one space, he's definitely going to get rattled with Ghost here. So Ryan, I keep telling Ryan, he's got to be a little bit more, aggressive. He's got to have a little bit more meanness in his bones here for these races. You got to stand up a little bit more, man. Don't let him go through, Ryan.
I don't know if he let him go through, if he missed his mark heading into that corner. I mean, a lot of understeer through that corner as it is. And it looks like the car just kind of washed out in front of him. I mean, one space may be the faster driver, but I don't think he would have let him go through that easily.
Now, Matzbach is definitely not going to let one space go through if he can't help it. So look at flashing his lights at him right now. One space now on the back bumper of Matzbach. One space does have some front end damage on that splitter there. But
one space has a lot of damage, and
yeah, he drilled.
It's hard to tell if he's if it's hurting him or helping him at this point. The way it's crimped up, it may have created more downforce on the car, so it might be helping it turn into some of these corners a little bit. But
it's possible, yeah. Flashing his lights at Matzbach. Matzbach's definitely going to just ignore that. Doesn't have to move over. You got to take it. There's a car behind. Oh, he's taking a look. It's a car behind's responsibility to make the pass cleanly. Matzbach is staying in the lines and boundaries of the track. There's Rosta right there. Is that Rosta? Who is that? It is Rosta. He got a spot back. Oh, no, he didn't. He's in P3 still. My bad. And then Ghost still hanging in there. Ghost is now 2.195. There's one space. Taking a look. Trying to rattle Matzbach's cage, but man, I have a feeling something's going to happen here. Look at Rosta, man. He's just definitely trying to get it, get around one space. He's going to try to make a move. He wants to get in front of one space.
He's deep into the brakes because the Mercedes one space tries to cut it back in.
And now Rosta opens the door for Ryan, but Ryan, again, does not take the opportunity to get in there. Let's go aboard with Rosta 236 and ride around the cockpit view here and see what he sees out his windscreen as one space trying to take that P1 position away from Matzbach. Again, goes wide through the final straightaway here, through the dog leg, and here they come. Now, will Rosta dive it deep here and get real close? Probably not. Oh, no, they're not there. Okay, now they're coming through here. Here we go. I was confused. Now we're going through here. Okay, I see where we're at now.
We're going to hop on board with one space here on the roof cam.
Yeah.
And, he's going to get a good run. He's in the slipstream. Oh, and look at this.
Matzbach goes a little wide.
Wide coming out of that corner.
And loses just enough speed for one space to come up on his back bumper here. He's going to take a look inside.
Look at this. It's nose to tail. He's all over the gearbox.
Oh, and he bumps him. And he bumps him. A little NASCAR action there from one space.
Yeah, gave him a little bit of a Talladega there is what we call that. A little bit of Talladega bump and run. If you're a Ricky Bobby fan, that's some shake and bake right there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Rosta right behind one space. Almost hits him from behind. I saw that coming up in his mirror there. Wow. Ryan Wingate definitely had a head of steam there coming down that final straightaway there. But, whoa, man. I was watching one space's mirror, and Rosta came right up in there, man. Had to take
and you can throw a blanket over the top four cars as Ryan Wingate and Ghost have caught up to this battle for the lead. And Ghost is going to be definitely looking to try and get himself back up to the top after making that mistake on the opening lap. 23 minutes left to play in this round, and the racing is not calmed down at all, even after that caution.
Well, let me ask you a
still
question.
Running like it's the last lap.
If one space gets around Matzbach, how much tire will he have left? This is on accelerated. How much tire will he have left to hold on to that lead, or even to put a gap in front of some of these other drivers like Rosta, Ghost, Death Pusher? These guys have been coming up to the track. Aggressively.
The benefit that one space has is that he's already had to pit to fix the damage on the car. Wingate puts off the grass.
Rosta 236 goes wide there. Ryan, calm down.
Where's the car? There it is.
Yeah, calm down, Sonny. Calm down.
So if one space already replaced his tires while fixing the car, he's going to be good to go. And some of these other guys have yet to pit.
Maybe
there is no mandatory pit stop. There's no mandatory pit stop, so they could run it to the end. But, again, tire wear is going to be a factor. The other thing that I do want to say about that, though, is one space has been running in a lot of traffic, and that's going to accelerate the tire wear as it is as well. So it may even itself out as it tries to make a move to the outside.
He's taking a look, and he gets it done.
No, he's going to be on the preferred line. And here comes Ghost. Ghost looking to make it.
Oh, Matzbach is dropping back. Ghost is going to put his nose in there.
Inside. He's got the preferred line handling in the right hander. He's going to push him wide. And Matzbach is in the grass.
No contact, though. No contact. Matzbach just had to take evasive action there. Good driving from Ghost there. Very aggressive. So now Ghost is back up to P2 after having a tumultuous accident there, or actually a spin, and getting all the way back to that spot here. Rode around for the first 5 or 6 minutes there in the back, but
and Matchbox loses 2 positions on 1 lap.
And
he's in danger of losing a third because Ryan Wingate is still right there.
Despite all his spinning and despite all his wide driving, despite all his little mess-ups and mistakes there, he's still hanging on. Good job for Ryan Wingate.
Yeah, he's definitely not run the cleanest race. The good thing about that, though, is his mistakes have only cost him. He hasn't made any contact with any other cars. He hasn't been the victim of any type of altercation. So the mistakes are all on him, and it's only affecting him. So really, you can't get mad at anybody else but himself right now.
Well, at least he knows that he has the car to catch back up and to stay and to hold that position. So as long as he keeps damage off that car and keeps the tires underneath him, he should be all right, as far as finishing in the top 5. Will he get another spot? It just depends on any argy-bargy that goes on between Ghost and 1 space now.
And Wingate's looking to make a move down the Kemmel Straight.
Yeah, definitely.
Side-by-side drag race down the Kemmel Straight, heading into Les Combs. Wingate's going to be looking to get it done, and he's got it.
Yeah,
moves in the third.
236. Sasquatch Motorsports.
Oh, no, but he goes around. Oh, and he gets hit.
By
Matchbox makes contact with him on the left rear. Oh, he's going to have suspension damage.
Oh, my God. So, Rosta, 236. What happened here, bud? Oh, my God. So, it doesn't look like Matchbox got too much damage there on the front end, but... Oh.
I wonder how that's going to affect the suspension, though, on the Lamborghini and possibly even the Porsche.
Yeah.
Oh, and it looks like Ghost had a moment there. Because now Ghost has lost about 3 seconds to one's pace.
I wonder if Ghost tried to make a move there. We look at Rosta going wide.
And
he's
Wingate is off.
Way off.
Yeah, he's going to be struggling with the left rear suspension, I'm sure. He did take a big shot to that left rear from Matchbox Porsche.
I wonder if these two guys are going to pit here. It would probably be best if they did, but 19 minutes and 57 seconds to go of a 50-minute race. It's going to be, I don't know. I don't know what I would do right now.
Judging by the way Wingate's Lamborghini is handling right now, he's going to definitely have to pit for some suspension repair at least and swap on a new set of tires.
Oh, for sure.
It doesn't look like Matchbox is, he's got a little bit of cosmetic damage, but it doesn't look like it's really affecting the car at all. He just lost a bunch of time. So,
what? Look at Rosta. Oh, my God. Ryan. Oh.
We're going to keep an eye on Ryan Wingate here as they come down to the chicane and see if he tears off into the pits.
Watching him now. Here he comes in that Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Oh, and he does not.
He does not. I don't know if that's...
Well, I guess he thinks he can handle it, and I'll give him credit for that. He's definitely got the car. He's still sticking with Matchbox, and Matchbox is one of the faster drivers out here. So we'll see how that works out. So let's check out some of these other guys back here. Where is Hendrick in all this? I don't see him anymore, but I do see Mr. Hayne.
Hendrick may have called it a day.
I don't know.
I don't remember seeing him leave, but we got Death Pusher here running in 5th all by his lonesome. 12 seconds behind, 6 seconds behind Ryan Wingate, but 12 seconds ahead of Snoopa Doopa, who's being threatened here by Mr. Hayden in the Audi. So we do have a battle for 6th here.
And Mr. Haynes about to make a move here. He's definitely on the back bumper of Snoopa Doopa in the Lamborghini. So it's Audi versus Lamborghini here. The Audi, taking the 2nd spot here in the run up the hill of Rouge. And where are they at? Here they come.
Not the best camera angle there.
Not the best at all. Holy moly. Let's try to get that fixed. I'll tell you what. Let's go aboard with Mr. Hayne. And wrong one. There we go. As we head through the bus stop here, Lamborghini on a pad, he's definitely got some skill to drive that Lamborghini around here. Look at that. Oh! Still lays down the thunder here. Okay, Mr. Hayne make a move and get in deep here and try to root that Lamborghini over to the side there without making contact. Oh, he runs a little wide, just a little bit. He's caught up to him here. A great exit by that Lambo.
He's definitely holding his own, and to hold off a driver, the championship points leader, Mr. Hayne, in the Audi. It's really impressive run right now by Snoopa Doopa.
Yeah, for sure. To hold him off, definitely. So Winchester in last spot. What has happened here? Look at his car. He's definitely been. Well, I thought the hood. I was in the cockpit view looking out there. Look at a little crumple there. He's got a little damage.
Yeah, he's definitely got some damage there. It's buckled up.
He shortened it up. Yeah.
He had an
sure.
he had an off earlier at the restart as he had gone around, and I mean, luckily for him, some of the other drivers have quit or had to retire. So I mean, he's running 11th, so not exactly what he wanted out of today's race, I'm sure. But right now, it's basically salvage mode for him. Try and get to the end, and then hopefully be able to make it up in race 2 in the wet, because you never know what's going to happen.
He'll start from the front. He'll start from the front.
No, that's right, because race 2 is a reverse grid, so he'll definitely have the benefit there.
And
so
he'll
some
have
of these
to.
guys,
Oh, Matsbox goes wide. Oh, I'm sorry, Matsbox goes wide. Rosta definitely almost on him, trying to make a move there, but they're heading toward the Rouge now. Matsbox is definitely being harassed by that Lamborghini, so I guess Rosta doesn't have damage. He just had to get those tires clean and cooled off a little bit. But wow. Why did it switch like that? That's not good. So
again, that's that weird camera. That's
yeah. I'm not really liking that. Okay, so here we go down toward the bus stop. Will Rosta make a move here? This is where they had contact earlier. Rosta tries it on the other side. Yeah, he's definitely let him go through there. Oh man, that Lamborghini just looks like it loses so much grip on the top of the mountain there.
Oh, and he's hard on the brakes, runs it a little deep. He's able to bring it back in.
He just stays with Matsbox, man. This is a great race here. These two normally don't race with each other or side by side with each other, but they're doing a fantastic job. Like they've been doing it for
I don't know these drivers like you do, but from what I'm gathering here, watching these guys race, I mean, Wingate seems like he's a really fast driver as long as he can stay in the racing groove, but he seems to struggle when he's got to get offline to try and make a move. And I don't know if that's just a product of his racing or if it's a product of the car.
Well, they do call him Dab Daddy. That's all I can tell you. Dab Daddy. Sometimes, I don't know. Again, Dow Glassworks, a happy page. So check it out. But yeah. So he's probably smiling ear to ear right now. Whoa!
Oh, they both run real wide coming out of there.
Wow. So Sasquatch Motorsports #1 driver trying to get busy with the Matsbox here, and it takes another look. I'll tell you what though, man, you don't want to be messing around with Matsbox. Matsbox is a crusty old Australian there. He'll definitely put the boom
here we go,
on you.
side by side as they head down in the chicane. Matsbox is going to take the more defensive line to the outside. Oh, he's going to blow the corner.
Oh, he's inside. Yeah,
he's not going to be able to get the power down.
Hold on, Matsbox is wide on the rumble strips. Can he get it done? He does not. Wow. Rosta getting racy there. Woo, man. Holy smoke, Batman.
It's funny because these two have been nose to tail most of this race. I would imagine at this point Ryan Wingate is probably tired of looking at the back of this Porsche. And
definitely. I'm
15
sure he
minutes,
is.
14 minutes left to play in this race, and he's definitely going to want to be wanting to make a move.
So Mr. Hayne got around Snoopa, no problem, and Winchester now up to P10, dragging down to P11, Stimpy P9, and T-Bax P8. Not too far back behind Snoopa and Mr. Hayne, so he's got a little ways to make a little bit of. There's Snoopa right there, so T-Bax is not too far. A little bit of ground he needs to make up, but he can definitely do it in 13 minutes here. I guess we'll get back up to the front here. This 11-second gap. This 11-second battle here. Both of them within the 11-second mark here. I'll tell you what, man. Rosta has driven a great race tonight. I know you know Ryan is a really nice guy, really nice gentleman, very quiet, friendly guy. But he's definitely showing his colors tonight, man, in that Lamborghini. Yeah,
we were really happy to have him with us for the SRL 2.4 Hours a Daytona that we ran a couple weeks ago. He ran GTE. He was running the Ferrari, and he ran second for a little while. Unfortunately, he was on call and did get called away for work. But he was chasing me down in the GTE class. I was out front. I actually won that race. I won that class, which was kind of nice. It was my first ever SRL win, but he was running second, and he was running a solid second up until the time he had to leave. So he's definitely got some speed in him, and we definitely hope to have him in SRL again. He's got a spot open for him. Sam's got a spot there for him if he wants to join full time, if he can make the races. So he's got his choice of BMW or Aston Martin in the GTE cars. So
they were knocking out some cones right now, but they're definitely getting racy. Well, did you see him in the 24-hour race? Takes the wheel and within gets the first couple of laps. A car spun in front of him there, and Ryan collected that car and had some major damage. He dropped all the way back down to 27th spot or something like that after being in second at the time of the collision. But a great rebound for.
Oh, and he's got it because Matchbox blows the corner.
Oh, there it is! And Matchbox has to correct himself, stays off Wingate, and roasts at 236 down to P3. What do you know? Get him done there, son. Yeah. So
moves into the podium spot, but now can he hold off Matchbox? Because Matchbox looking to be getting that spot back from him. And these two could just not get away from each other for nothing.
Rosa's like, what are you, gum on my shoe? But take off your mirror, Ryan. Don't look back. Just keep driving forward, man.
That's what you got to do. You just got to focus forward at this point, hit your marks, and start separating that gap.
Mm-hmm.
So, unbelievable run by one space, though. I want to pick him up real quick here in the Hot Wheels Mercedes AMG,
Absolutely.
And that's just an unbelievable run by him to be involved in that massive wreck early on, fix the car, get it back out, and he's got a 6-second gap over Ghost, and Ghost, who's run a great race as well. He had that spin at Radion at the top of Eau Rouge, lap 1, and he's been able to make it up through the pit sequence and the wreck and everything like that, and under the caution. Obviously, we've been watching Ryan Wingate most of this race. He's still being pursued by Matchbox. Death Pusher been quietly but solidly running in 5th. He hasn't been making a lot of noise today, but that's a good top 5 run for him. Mr. Hayes been involved. His day's been up and down, no matter how you look at it. He's running all by his lonesome right now in the 7th spot, and Snoopa Doopa is running in 7th. His day's also been a little bit up and down.
On board now with Mr. Haynes as he works his way around toward the, what does he call it? The double gaunch?
The double gauche.
The double gauche. Heading there now. Looks like he's got that Audi moving fast, moving forward. 226.319 was his last lap. Stays within the boundaries here. He's carrying a lot of speed. He's at 120, 130 miles an hour, 135, 140. Rolls out of it. Look at that. Roar! I love that sound, man. I'll tell you what, man.
T-Bac's running all by his lonesome in the 8th spot. And
he's coming. Mr. Hayes
Stimpy, his day's probably not going the way he's wanted it to, but he's pretty quiet running in 9th by himself right now. And
obviously, James Williams had
talked about Winchester a couple of times and the way his day is going, so he'll be looking forward to the rain race, I'm sure.
Oh, he loves rain. Yeah.
And looks like Dragon has been involved in a massive wreck. He's got some big front end damage on that Cadillac ATS.
Oh my God. David Curry has beat the pretty off that Cadillac. And I'll tell you what, though, man. He likes driving these cowboy cars, man. So I'm going to let him have it. Let's go back up here. Where are we at? Rosta now. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, Rosta at P3. So Matchbox, look at that gap Rosta's putting on Matchbox now. Over a second and a half there. So good job for Rosta 236, Sasquatch Motorsports, #1 and only driver at the moment. Former teammates with Donnie Stobbits. Donnie not here right now, currently on the Midget Pole Dancing World Championship Tour, competing in the latex division. So, that's where he's at right now. He's currently in first place in that series. So, best of luck to Donnie. But, here we go. So, Matchbox trying to catch up. But look at how good Rosta's car handles in clean air. You know, it's gripping. It's definitely got the grip, and it's definitely got the drivability, but he's got to just keep his eyes out of the mirror and just drive his own race. And
he's doing exactly what he needs to do right now, and that's just face forward and keep the focus there and hit those marks. The Lamborghini will take care of the rest. As you said, the car is just running great now that it's in clean air, and he's probably not used to it running this good. Being behind another car, it's going to have higher engine temperatures, lower downforce. The tire degradation is going to go up. The tire temps are going to go up. So everything's going to be coming into the own now for the Lamborghini, and it's definitely starting to show because Ryan Wingate is able to gap that Porsche.
Definitely. And that Porsche is really wicked quick, especially behind in the hands of that driver Matchbox. Again, Matchbox winning both races at Imola in the rain, dominating. I mean, taking the lead right off, led flag to flag both races. So he can definitely get it done. He's won several practice races. I definitely thought he would be more of a competition for Rosta, but I guess the tires are trying to battle off Wingate, just kind of ate up that car a little bit, and used him up, and he just doesn't have the car underneath him anymore. But like you said, the temperatures are coming down for Rosta. The Lamborghini's cooling off a little bit. The grip level's coming up on it. The engine's a little bit stronger. Whoa, whoa.
A little bit of snap oversteer under braking. And I want to give a shout out here to Greg Baker. That's GT Baker on PSN. He's a very, very fast Gran Turismo Sport driver, especially in the Group 3 class. He's pretty top notch in Group 3 and Group 4. So shout out to him for chiming in on the live chat.
Awesome.
Wants me to hop on board with one of the Bentleys, so we'll hop on board with the Ghost running in second.
Let's do it.
I can figure out how to...
Okay, so you'll hit the paddle button. You'll hit the R2. I'm sorry, L2.
There we go.
Select driver, and then R1 back to cockpit view. And on board now with Ghost as he hurdles around through the bus stop chicane here.
Right on board the bonnet cam on the Bentley.
6 minutes, 6 seconds, 6.350 back from one space, who has just set sail. His fast number there is I'll tell you what, let's find out what their fast number is here real quick.
And I do love this Bentley Continental GT3. I've really enjoyed this car since they've come back out with it. And started running the GT3 class years ago, and they did the Pirelli World Challenge, which is now the SRO World Challenge. Really good car. I mean, under the stable setup, the default setup, it's got a massive amount of understeer. So props to Ghost for making that work today after his spin at Radion early on. But great car, sounds amazing. I would love to see them in an IMSA series someday, but I don't know. Right now they run the Blancpain Championship.
Yeah, Blancpain, yeah. I actually know Adderley Fong. I've met him a few times as he's come to Circuit of the Americas and the Pirelli World Challenge while he was driving the Bentley. We became Facebook friends, Instagram friends. We talk a lot. I asked him actually to, if he would mind providing the winner of the series, regardless if it's in the Bentley or not, with some autograph memorabilia. I'm waiting for him to get back with me on that. We've still got a few weeks to go before we're over. But he sent me some die cast before signed and some pictures and stuff like that. So Adderley is a dear friend, and hopefully he'll pull through for these guys. I know he likes racing, and I definitely know he's watched one of the races here recently. So he'll drop in when he can. But China is on the other side of the world, and that's where he's at right now. I think he lives in Beijing. So. Yeah, definitely a good friend, and hopefully Adderley will provide us some good stuff, man. He's a nice guy, man. He's driving right now for Absolute Racing. I think they're working a Porsche right now. They had the Audi, and I think they're driving the Porsche. So they're going through some different cars, Ferrari, and I think they had a lot of success with the Audi, but right now I think they're driving the Porsche. But yeah, he's back on board with Ghost. He's closed that gap by a second, but that's not going to be enough.
I don't think he's going to have enough time to catch back up to one space in the Mercedes Hot Wheels AMG.
Gap. Gross has opened that 2-second gap with 4 minutes and 6 seconds to go. This could be Ryan Wingate's podium finish here. A strong finish, especially with this group of drivers here. He's got to be happy with his drive. I think those early mistakes hurt him substantially. He could have been in between one space and Ghost had he not had those incidents that kept him in the back there a little bit, banging wheels with Matchbox here. But yeah, he's got to calm down here and just get his car going the right way. He looks like he was getting a little squirty there. Don't lose focus there, Mr. Wingate. Just keep driving. Easy on the gas there, buddy.
Greg wants to throw a shout out to all the Blancpain drivers. He says they're very underreported.
Oh yeah, that's a great series. That GT3 series. That's a great series.
It's an interesting series. I mean, I think the governing body needs to.
Stimpy's around in the wall. I'm sorry, Stimpy 40. I was on board with Stimpy right behind Winchester on the final chicane. He's hitting the wall, header into the wall there.
Yeah, he's backwards coming out of the chicane now, trying to turn it around on the front stretch.
Oh,
so where's Dragon in all this? Oh, Dragon's way too far behind. He's not even
3 minutes back. Come on, Dragon. Come on, David.
Dragon's essentially, it's basically a lap down. He's just now getting off of the Kendall Straight into the Les Cones, so Stimpy's going to be secured in the 10th spot for sure. So Winchester, he picks up the 9th spot. Again, not the day is gone. Well, it hasn't gone the way he's wanted it to for sure. There's the camera finally picking up the car.
Well, here's T-Bax. Oh, second behind Snoopa. Well, now he's a little bit more. But yeah, he's definitely trying to make a pass here. 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Can he get around Snoopa and the Lamborghini? Two Lamborghinis here, about to get out here. But T-Bax, Tyler Backus, a friend of mine from the free world, obviously the real world, should I say. I've worked with Tyler. He's been my boss at a couple of jobs that we've done there from Cowtown, Texas, Fort Worth. Let's see if he can get this done here. He's trying to make a move on the Australian, Snoopa Doopa, but I think he's just a little bit too far back there. I don't know if he's got enough car underneath him. But Rosta has definitely set sail, and Ghost has closed the gap down to 4 seconds. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Matchbox now on the back bumper here of Rosta 236. Whoa,
Ryan Wingate has lost some time here in the last lap.
This is the last lap for sure. White flag in the air this time by for these drivers. Oh, boy.
Time will be up, and then it will be one more lap after that, I think is how they work it. Matchbox is all over the gearbox of the Lamborghini now.
On board with Matchbox through his windscreen here and in the cockpit view here as he tries to take a look on the inside of Roast 236. Ryan Wingate. Oh, boy. Keeps that thing pointed in the right direction. Don't look back, Rosta. Just keep driving, buddy.
Matchbox is all over the back of that, and if he looks in his rearview mirror, he's going to see nothing but yellow coming at him.
Don't do it. Roasted. Nice.
We've seen it a couple times today. Wingate is buckled under the pressure, trying to make a move or trying to hold one off.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Ryan. Not this time. Don't do it. Hold on to that podium, buddy. Come on, man. This is going to be like a win for you.
You might give him the old commentator's curse.
Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, look, he opens some gap. He gets away a little bit there, Matchbox. Oh, boy. Both of them have to go
run wide.
Yeah.
So Wingate ran wide coming off of the corner, and Matchbox was wide in the middle of the corner. They're both pushing the heck out of these cars, trying to make this happen.
Look at Matchbox cutting the heads off each corner here. Oh, trying to get the maximum exit here. Step the rumble strips.
And I do want to say, Ghost has closed that gap down to 4.5 seconds. I mean, he's not going to get the win, but he then closed it up by 2 seconds here in the last couple of laps. But the battle we're watching here is for third. Ryan Wingate looking for this would be his maiden podium finish.
No, he's won 2 races before, but this is going to be his first third spot here. So I guess it'll be his first podium finish without a win. Yeah, so he's definitely had some good finishes.
The brakes. Oh, Matchbox is definitely quick through that chicane.
He will see that Porsche is definitely agile through there. So one more lap, white flag in the air.
White
this time
flag in the air, last time by.
Oh my God!
Can Wingate hold him off?
No!
Matchbox has got a good run coming out of turn 1 and down the hill.
And you know he's not afraid to go side by side up that hill.
Nose to tail through Eau Rouge now.
Rosta just rolls out of
the on and onto the Kemmel Straight.
Oh my God! Matchbox on the thunder, trying to get it done here. 150 miles an hour in the draft of Ryan Wingate, heading toward the bus stop. This is the closest battle that we have right now. Actually, no, it is not. Hayne and Death Pusher are battling it out right behind them, but we'll stay with the Rosta 236 and the Matchbox battle here.
Yeah, we're going to stick with this for the battle for the final spot on the podium.
Oh my God! Come on, Rosta. I should have any
Wingate, he's going to go into the corner. He's a little hot heading in there. Riding on the roof cam with Matchbox in the Porsche 911.
I'm in the windscreen. Yeah, he's getting it. Oh my God!
Matchbox goes a little wide. He's onto the turf.
Oh.
Wingate's able to gap him a little bit. They head down to the double gauche. This is basically a double apex right-hander. Big sweep, or left-hander, I should say.
This could help Matchbox just a little bit. He's not in the aero wash of Wingate, so he could get a good run and run it in deep there and catch right back up to him if he plays it right here. See, here he comes. He's closing the gap just a little bit now. He's got to get good exits through here.
Needs to get back on that power.
More. This one right here. This is key right here. This corner right here is going to make it or break it.
After this corner, you're basically flat out until you hit that dog leg.
And he's broke it. He's not going to do it. There's no way. Look at that. Rosta stays off the curb. That's what he needed to do. Both of them did. I don't know. This could end. Who's got the most horsepower?
He's definitely in the slipstream now with the Lamborghini.
Here he comes.
He is closing that gap. He's closing that gap. Swings it wide. He's going to be making a move.
Oh, he's right
Ryan
there.
Wingate going to take the more defensive line, heading down to the chicane.
Oh,
Matchbox.
he takes a spot. Come on, Russell, get in there, get in there. And Matchbox takes a spot.
Matchbox takes the spot, heading into the chicane, and Ryan Wingate is going to be punching the steering wheel.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable run to the finish.
Woo! Let's finish this. There's all over here. Mr. Hain and Death Pusher. Death Pusher definitely fell back. So, yeah.
Looks like Mr. Hain's got that for the 5th spot.
Wow. So, Death Pusher down to P6. T-Backs and Stupa here, a second gap. Here comes Stupa, still holding on to the lead here of these two drivers. Just a second and a half or 2 seconds is the gap here, but Tyler Backus, he could try to do something here if he just.
I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move if he wants to try and force the issue.
If
really,
Stupa
he
looks
has
back
to...
and makes a mistake. Oh, he's right there now. Oh, Backus drops the ball. Yeah,
he dropped the tires into the grass. I don't think he was close enough to make a move either way. And we're going to pick up Winchester here in the Golf-colored Mercedes-Benz. And he is
all by himself here.
All by himself here, running in 9th. He'll be happy with the 9th place finish, I think, after the way his race went. I mean, after the yellow flag had come out and he got caught up in that wreck, in 9th is it's basically a salvage job at this point. Trying to put some points on the board.
Let me see if I can get the top 3 drivers up here. Stick around. Thanks a lot for joining us for the race 1. Winner, 1 space. 2nd place goes to Ghost. And Matchbox takes that 3rd spot away from Rosa 236. Matchbox, give me 1 second here and I'll get you. Let me go up here and get these other drivers in here. 1 second. 1 second. So invite.
And Dragon is going to come across the line in the Cadillac ATS. He's now lost his hood. So his day is not going the way he wanted it to here in the dry race.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that works out. So Nestoza on F1. I don't know. I hope he comes back for race 2 here. So let's return to the lobby and see what we got cooking at the Evidence Speed. Matchbox, a great job taking that spot away from Rosta 236, battling it out lap after lap after lap, man. I mean, you got to be sweating like a dog, boy. I tell you what, that was a great battle. That Lamborghini and that Porsche were mixing it up. Contact, some spins. You got to be excited. With that big wreck in front of you there from 1 space and from Nestoza. I mean, tell me about that action there, Matchbox. And congratulations on your podium. Matchbox.
Congratulations to the winner and everyone.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, battle with Roaster was insane. Me and Kyle had a bit of contact. I think there wasn't too much in it, but I'm sorry about that. And that crash in front, that was lucky to miss that. Otherwise, it would have been race over too.
Oh my God, that was tumultuous, man. But you had a great drive. That Porsche was really hooking up. What kept you from behind Roaster there? Those last 5, 6, 7 laps there. Did the tires just fall off doing all that battling?
Yeah, my tires were starting to go.
Okay. Yeah, it looked like there was some mechanical issues there. But yeah, great job. Congratulations again on your podium. Well done, sir. Good job.
Thanks.
All right, let's talk to the winner real quick here. 1 space, man. I'll tell you what, Brian, what a freaking drive, dude. With that big wreck with Nestoza there, he spun out in front of you. I know you were just too close to try to avoid him. A big collision. He sent him flying. I had to tentatively ask him to retire because he reset to the track. He was on his roof. It was pretty much game over for him. But, man, what a great battle. He had some pace. Did you think you could have passed him if you would have stayed on the track and continued racing? Yeah. Well, there was multiple. I think at one lap y'all had like 3 or 4 lead changes, man. We were watching that battle, man. It was amazing. You had that Hot Wheels Mercedes hooked up, man. What's the secret there, man? It's just consistent driving, or is it that Fanatec racing wheel you got? I'll tell you what, man. Great job, man. Congratulations on your win, man. Yeah, I saw that. You stormed through the field. And then gapped Ghost. I mean, Ghost caught up to y'all for a minute there, but you opened that gap up to 6, 7 seconds, and then that was it. That's all he could muster. But that's what actually Kamikaze referred to, is that you had fresh tires on, man. And I think that was the key there, man. But you ran right through the field and took that lead back and never looked back, man. Congratulations on your win. Well deserved. Oh my God. Yeah, you definitely put it out there, man. So congratulations on your win, man. Well done, man. You're starting in the back though this next race here, so stick around. But Ghost, are you in here, buddy?
Yeah.
Ghost, man, side by side, running up the hill with Matchbox. Again, aggressive. We know that. We expect that from you. Yeah. I mean, you spun around. I know you were glad for that caution, and then drove up to second spot. I mean, considering. That's where you started at, but considering, all things, you got to be happy with that second spot, man. Tell me a little bit about your race.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Got to be wrapped, having that contact with Matt going up Air Rouge. Put me into the wall, but, I saved it. Only just nicked it, but it put 6 damage on the front splitter, but just head down, tried to do quali laps for that whole race, which, if you can imagine, 50 minutes trying to do quali laps, that's a bit of a mission there. The yellow got called, I don't know, I think it was Nestoza, I forget, it was someone up the front, they ended up flipping. Yellow was called, and I was going to go into the pit to fix the damage, but I'm like, so I bit the bullet, just stayed in and slowly picked everyone off, and ended up in second, which I was wrapped about.
It was a fantastic drive, man. You did very well. I couldn't be more happy with that result for you. I'm sure you're happy with yourself. Man, fantastic, man. Way to put your head down and stick with it. And we'll see if we can get Nestoza back in here. He reset. He was upside down, so we had to ask him to retire there. But we'll get him back in here and see if he wants to take another shot at it. But well done on your second spot. Rosta, man, I know you're in here. Dude, what a battle. You got to be kind of disappointed at not hanging on to that third spot there, man.
Definitely.
You got to keep your eyes out of that mirror, buddy.
I just burned up the tires a little bit and started pushing it, and then I cut that corner, and it gave me a penalty, a slowdown penalty, 4 corners to go. So I had to back off in that long straight, and I'm trying to get rid of that penalty, but not, kind of block him, but not kind of, not completely block him. But hopefully, to kind of take a little of the steam when he was coming up. And it still gave me the damn penalty anyway, so he would have got it, regardless. He was within a second behind me. I knew that, regardless, my smallest penalty would have been a second, and he was within half a second when we were going to pass the line. So I had to try to get rid of the penalty. It just didn't work.
Man, you were working hard, man. You were working hard.
Man, it was a freaking awesome race, dude. I'm telling you.
What's up with that Lamborghini? With the dirty air behind Matchbox, it looks like your car was just all over the place. But when you got that clean air, your car took off, man. You gapped him, man. Was that the case, sir?
It didn't like following the Porsche. I was pretty good through the others, but if I got too close to that Porsche, I don't know if it was just my nerves or if I could blame it on the car. But yeah, I started getting kind of wild. And especially going up Rouge, it would jump all the way across the lane. I mean, it would catch before it would go off, but it would really jump. So, I mean, if I got too close. But, I couldn't find enough room to try to make a run on him anyway, so I had to try to get as close as I possibly could. But
well, you did
there
a great job,
was no mistakes
man.
that were big enough, and we just kind of ran along race, kind of right there.
You had a few little blunders at the beginning there. Some slight contact, some spins. Do you think that had you controlled that a little bit better, you would have had enough car to finish in front of Matchbox there?
Yeah. If I would have not made some mistakes and kept it together, I'm not sure though, because then he would have had the draft on me, and we'd have probably had the same battle. So that battle was happening. So regardless, it was going to happen.
Definitely happening, man. Y'all guys, spot on driving. Congratulations again for your P4. Dow Glassworks sponsored driver, Rosta 236, Ryan Wingate, Southwest Motorsports, number one and only driver, kicking ass tonight, man. Good job, man.
Thanks,
all right,
guys.
buddy. Well, Fox, we're about to reset, rewind, and reboot here for a second race. What are your thoughts and comments on this first exciting race?
Well, I mean, it was absolutely a great race for everybody. I mean, one space, incredible comeback drive after his wreck. Damage control by Ghost after his off at Radion at the top of Eau Rouge. And obviously Matchbox and Ryan Wingate with an incredible battle there. Some of the other drivers, I know Snoopa Doopa had his own altercations throughout the day, and then Hendrick had an up and down day, and so did Mr. Hain. And Death Pusher, mid pack was a little quiet there for a while, but I think everybody did a pretty good job. And again, I'm going to give a nice shout out to the guys, definitely for doing the full course caution after that wreck. Very good gentleman's agreement, showed a lot of maturity in the league, a lot of online races in this stuff. Those guys wouldn't do that. So props to you guys for doing that, and just some really good racing. It's going to be exciting to go into the next race here, race 2 in the wet with the great equalizer. We'll see who can show their wet weather prowess and see who can show us that they're a rainmeister here in the wet.
Well, it's a 5 a.m. start here at the track. I'm setting it up now. It looks like we have rain in the forecast. So we're going to reset, reboot, and we'll come back out and start another stream fresh. So 6 Johnny, Wallace the Dog, and of course, KAMIKAZE-FOX broadcasting out right here from the Fortress Speed and Phoenix Motorsports. Thank you, KAMIKAZE, for hanging out with us tonight, man. It's a pleasure having a professional commentator in the booth with me, somebody who actually has a brain. Sorry, Steve, now you have a brain. But yeah, guys, appreciate it. Wallace appreciates it, and yeah, I know the guys will too. So thanks again. We'll see y'all shortly, and we are out of here for race 1, and we'll be broadcasting race 2 shortly. 3, 2, 1, and we are off the air. Good job, everybody. Yay, well done. All right.
How long until the second race?
We usually get a 5-minute break between them, so if you want to do that, what I'm going to do is, if you want to come with me down to the game chat here, and we'll just hammer it out. So just go to the settings here, and you don't have to leave the party. Just go to the party settings here.
Just because I'm still streaming and I'm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you could continue streaming if you want, but just tell them it's going to be a 5-minute break. So yeah, guys, we're going to go down to the game chat. So Ghost, One Space, T-Backs. We're going to go down to the game chat. There you go. So I'm going to go into the party settings, go into chat, prioritize game.
I'll be here. So race 1 and done here in the drive for the Phoenix Motorsports GT3 Gunslinger Series. One Space is your winner. Followed by Ghost in the Bentley, followed by Matchbox in the GT3 Porsche 911. So 5-minute break, we'll get reset to do a wet weather race, and it would be a reverse grid order. So everybody that started at the top everybody that finished at the top will be starting at the back. We'll be waiting on 6 Gun Johnny to reload this room for some of these other drivers. I want to thank Greg Baker for joining us in the live chat. Greg, unfortunately, I'm guest commentating. I don't know a lot about the series. I can tell you that Mr. Hain is your championship points leader. Mr. Hain driving the Audi. That is Hain 1966_dad. He's a dad to a couple of other Hain drivers that do some online racing as well. But Mr. Hain is your championship points leader. They do a 2-race format. And I can tell you from some of the experience, Mr. Hain, championship points leader. Death Pusher is going to be probably a mid-pack driver. Some of the faster drivers going to be One Space, obviously. Ghost is very quick. Ryan Wingate, who also races SRL in the IMSA series. He recently did the 2.4 hours of Daytona with me a couple weeks ago, where I actually won the GTE class. Celio Spelicio just walked away with the overall win in the LMP2 class, and that was SRL. And I know you had asked earlier about some other races and what's coming up. I will be commentating tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for International Racing League IRL F2 Series, F1 2019 on the PS4 platform. They will be doing round 17 at Baku, Azerbaijan. That'll be tomorrow morning. You can also check out their F3 League and F1. F3 will be racing tomorrow at the same time, and F1 races on Saturdays. SRL will be racing next week. And their Formula, well, it won't be next week. It'll be February 8th will be SRL's next Formula 1 race. If I can find my schedule here, I would tell you what race that would be. I don't think I have one. I do not have one, unfortunately. what is the next race? SRL. That was the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix will be the next one for SRL. 2 weeks time, February 8th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be commentating for that. So I commentate the F1 League. I race in the IMSA GT3 or GTE League. It's a multi-class league, LMP2s and GTE cars on the same track. It is a 2020 endurance racing league. We did the 2.4 hours of Daytona a couple weeks ago. This morning we did the 1.2 hours of Sonoma. We run them simulated time for 24 hours and 12 hours a pop. We will be doing Circuit of the Americas next in 3 weeks' time, I believe it is, for IMSA. So then from there we'll do the 1.2 hours of Laguna Seca, Long Beach, and then I believe we wrap up the season with the 2.4 hours of the Mall. Multi-class racing. If you have project cars too, we're always looking for more drivers, so you can always reach out to SRL or myself if you want to join the league. We've got a couple of spots open in the GTE category with the BMW and the Aston Martin. And after 2 races, Vasilios Velosiotis leads the league with 22 points. He's won both races overall. He's also run the 2 fastest laps from each race from 2.4 hours of Daytona and today's Sonoma race. He's followed closely by Sandro Racing in second in the LMP2 class with 16 points. And we've got a 3-way battle for the championship points lead in GTE with myself at 14 points, Rob Small with 14 points, and then class winner today was Jeremy Pope, who has 10 points. Coming in this summer, we will have a Gran Turismo Sport Group 4 League that we will run in the summertime. That will probably start in June and then run through June, July, and into August, where we will pick up SRL's F1 League. So you can definitely look forward to that coming in June after we have finished out the Formula 1 season and IMSA. That'll be Group 4, which we did last season with the International Racing League, IRL. Unfortunately, decided to shut down the Gran Turismo Sport League due to a lack of car count, which a lot of drivers didn't agree with. But SRL is going to pick it up, and we're going to run with it in Gran Turismo Sport. So look forward to that. Group 4 is going to be a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun last year. It was really competitive. Jeremy Pope walked away with the championship in that league as well. So to Jeremy Pope's credit, he's got 2 IRL Group 3 championship championships and 2 Group 4 championships. So he'll be the driver to beat, and that'll be coming for Gran Turismo Sport. So I definitely look forward to that. I had a lot of fun doing Gran Turismo Sport Group 4 racing last year. And look forward to it again for sure. I'll be working on tracks, dates, times here in the coming months, and the rules and regulations for it. So appreciate you hanging out. You're my only viewer right now. So we wait for these guys to get situated for the wet weather race. And that is certainly going to be interesting to watch. I'm also trying to keep up with what's going on in the actual Rolex 24. 24 hours of Daytona. I live stream that on my laptop. And here we go. Looks like we're going to get underway here for the second race in the GT3 Gunslinger Series. This will be a wet weather race. Not sure if Nordschleife is on the Gunslinger Series calendar. I can certainly ask Johnny when he comes back, but That track is not for me. I'm going to retire and spectate. And there's the mighty Bentley of Ghost, who finished second in the first race, so he will be starting in 13th spot for the wet weather race. Ryan Wingate finishing third. One space was your winner last time out, so he'll be starting dead last. T-Bax will be starting towards the front in that multicolored Lamborghini from ATA Motorsports. And there's another Bentley there. And Farq in the GMG Porsche didn't finish last race, so he'll be starting towards the front. We've got Winchester in the Gulf-colored Mercedes AMG. He'll be starting mid-pack, along with Snoopa-Doopa. Hendrick didn't finish last race either, so he's back. Got Matt's box. We watched him battle it out with Ryan Wingate for that third spot, able to take it away at the last lap on the heading into the chicane. We've got Death Pusher in the other Bentley, so a lot of Bentleys in this class. And we've got Mr. Hain in the Audi, the Gulfsford Audi. I myself will not be racing. And then Dragon, he'll be starting in the very first spot on pole position in this reverse grid order. And then Six Gun Johnny is he's the lead commentator. It's his league. So we'll pick up one of the Bentleys here. Going to do a quick qualifying session, a quick practice session. Quick 5 minutes. Now this is a default setup series as well, so they can't change anything on the car. It's a default setup. It's set to stable. There's two default setups in this game. There's stable and there's loose. These are all set to stable, which is a little tight for me. As you see the Bentley go around, as I say, it's tight and a little bit understeer. You get some of that snap oversteer on these cold, hard tires. So it's going to be racing in the night. It's also going to be racing in the wet come race time. We're going to pick up Winchester here as he heads down through Eau Rouge. You see he had to get off the throttle big time there through Eau Rouge to the top of Radion. I imagine Johnny is talking with the guys to make sure everybody knows their starting place. See the Bentley here. Either he's trying to play around or he's struggling for grip. And he returns to his pit box. So we'll pick up Winchester, only car out on track right now. So it'll definitely be interesting to see these cars, how well they're going to handle in the wet. See who's got it set up for, well, who's got their steering wheel set up or their controller settings set up to help them in the wet weather. And with these stable default setups, there's a lot of understeer built into them, and obviously the cars are going to want to wash out anyways in the wet weather. So it'll definitely be interesting to see who's got the grip and who's got the prowess and who can control the throttle and modulate it to try and make the speed necessary to take a race win today here. And with the reverse grid order, that's going to be really interesting to watch. See if the slower guys out front, see how long they can stay out front versus the guys heading through the pack.
Yes. We'll be all right.
Sounds like we've got Johnny joining us back again.
Hey, here I am. 1 second. And what I'll do is, let me get over here with you. Yeah, so we're basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to sort out our starting orders actually with the group here, and I'm making another room because one of our drivers could not make it in the what do we call it? Make it in the field here. He was disqualified at the beginning of the. Hang on, am I right? Okay, here we go. He was disqualified at the beginning of the race when he crashed with one space. So Nastoza is trying to get back in. So I'm just going to restart a room and get him in here. So back here.
So good to see Nastoza will be in for the wet weather race after his massive crash in race 1 of the dry. Ended up on his roof and had to retire. It was a full course caution. Props to the guys for pulling that off very, very professionally. So,
yeah. Yeah, these dogs can all roll together at one time. They're trained pretty good. They're trained pretty good. These definitely know what they're doing, man. These guys are definitely spot on. They're all mature drivers. We don't have any slouches or slackers, I guess would be one way to put it. Guys that half-ass things. These guys know I like to play by the rules. I'm serious about my racing, and so they need to be serious as well. And that's how it works out. So I am almost done with the invites. And let's see here. So I'm all the way up to you. You're the last one invited, and I still have some more on the list. So here we go. Come on in, Mr. Fox. And let's see where Rosta is next. Matt's box. Nastoza once. All right, there's the grid right there. 16 drivers. Ooh, man. Let's see if they show up and they show out here. Wow, I'm excited, man. Did Farkey make it in here? Yeah, he did. Okay, good deal. All right, Farkey, stay on the ready button, buddy. Oh, they can't hear me. Hang on. Let me get back in there. So what I'm going to do, Fox, is I'm going to go down there. I'm going to not actually go down there, but I'm just going to switch over to game chat, and I'm going to set them up as they make the first lap. It's going to be a pace lap, and then they're going to do a single file start to the start-finish line, and they're going to go green from there. So I'm doing that now. Let me back out of here and get these guys going, and we're starting the race right now. So let me start the stream as well once I get them rolling here.
Roger that.
We're off to see the wizard. And again, thank you for your patience, but.
Trying to. There we go. Got my laptop working again. So some last minute adjustments. We get ready to go with this second race here. Going to be in the wet at the night. Got Death Pusher in the Bentley Continental Blazy. He was not in the first race, but it looks like he's here for this one. Got Dragon here running in the Cadillac ATS. Hendrick will be in the Audi. Ghost in the Bentley. FarQ Bubba G, we just call him FarQ or Farquaad. He's going to be in the Porsche. Matt's box also in the Porsche. Mr. Hain in the Audi. T-Bax in the Lamborghini Hurricane. Stupid Dude also in the Hurricane. One space in the Hot Wheels AMG Mercedes-Benz. Winchester in the Gulf-colored Mercedes-Benz. Tokuda. Not sure who that is. And we've got Ryan Wingate. He'll be running in the Lamborghini as well. And Blazy has left the session. I do not have thumbnails being created for each video. I generally don't stream a lot of commentary videos to my stream. I'm often streaming to either International Racing League and the SRL League. They both have I know Sam Brandt does the SRL stuff in-house. He actually does a pretty good job. I'm not sure where he gets them from. And IRL, this is again on Formula 1 F1 2019, so they do their own in-house stuff as well, but they've only got one guy that does the graphics, and if he gets sick, then they don't get done. Death Pusher, Dragon, Hendrick, Ghost, Farquaad, Nats Fox, Mr. Hane, T-Back, Snoopa Doopa, One Space, Winchester, Tokuda, and Ryan Wingate. Rounding out what should be 13 or 14 drivers, I think, for today's race. Meanwhile, I can tell you what's going on in the Rolex 24, since there's nothing happening here. You can't see it, but we're riding on board with the AVS Lexus in the GTD class. A couple of DPI cars go by, 3 of them actually. 2 DPIs and 1 LMP2 going by here in turn 1. Ryan Briscoe is your overall leader. He's got an 18-second lead over Felipe Nasser in the number 31 Whelen Cadillac. In LMP2, Hanley's got a 14-second lead over Trumer. In the GTLM category, we've got John Edwards in the number 24 BMW. He is leading the way by 2.5 seconds over the 912 Porsche 911 RSR. Unfortunately, the number 4 Chevrolet Corvette GTLM is behind the wall. Looks like they're doing possibly a gearbox change. In your GTD category, it's been the number 9 Porsche by Robichon, who qualified the car on pole, still out front leading the way. He's got a 38-second lead over the Michael Schenck Racing Acura NSX GTD car, and that's your top 2 there in that. So I know you can't see it, but we're behind the wall right now. Number 4 Chevrolet Corvette team, and their drivers looking on as they're not sure what's going on, but they are doing some major work on the right rear of this car and underneath. Obviously, the new C8R was a mid-engine car, gearbox and engine back there, engine cradle, everything. I think they might have had maybe a hydraulic issue. Looks like there's some fluid in the cable that they're working on right now. Now, the number 3 Corvette, the sister car, is running in 4th with Jordan Taylor, 22 seconds behind the lead car of BMW. That's in the GTLM class. Drivers look very distraught there in the Chevrolet camp. Brand new car this year, the C8R. This is really the test bed. They didn't do a lot of testing. The car came out in July. Production model, basically. The race car was finished shortly after that. So they haven't had a lot of miles put on for it as far as testing goes. So this has really been the test bed here, this Rolex 24. Ryan Briscoe has pulled out to a 20-second lead over Felipe Nasser in the DPI overall leading class. And the guys continue to work frantically on this Chevy C8R behind the wall here in the garage. Looks like they might be working on radiator. It looks like that is some water pressure. And it looks like we're going to get underway here. The GT3 Gunslinger Series here in the wet. The C8R, I'm not sure if it's all carbon fiber. I think it's a carbon composite. Uses a lot of fiberglass and aluminum panels as well. The engine's not supposed to be that heavy. It's supposed to be a small displacement, flat plane crank V8, high revving. That's mostly aluminum.
Yeah.
And looks like we do have Johnny back with us.
I am back. There we go. So getting things sorted down there. Sorry about that. We had one driver come in to take the place of Nestoza, and Nestoza wanted to come back in, and then he couldn't come back in, and then the other driver left. So now instead of having too many drivers, we have one short. So hey, instead of 16, we have 15 now. It is what it is. We're going to do a 5-minute qualifier to see if anybody shows up for that 16th spot. If not, hey, it is what it is. We're out of here. We're doing the Project Cars 2 game, and we're off to see the Wizard. I'm going to start my stream now, and give me 1 second. There we go. YouTube and Race 2. All right, guys. Thanks for being patient. I appreciate it, but that's the perils of sim racing. You know that, Fox.
Absolutely, especially with Project Cars 2. Great game, lots of bugs, not quite perfect.
Yeah, for sure. All right, here we go. I'm going to start my stream. 3, 2, 1, and start broadcasting. And breathe.
Oh, and look at the fog. This is going to be hellacious.
All right, race fans. Hey, you know what time it is. 6 Gun Johnny broadcasting up from the Fortress Speed with the Ministry of Speed and, of course, Phoenix Motorsports, Wallace the Dog, and KAMIKAZE-FOX. That's right. Got an extra commentator here in the booth for Race 2 as well as Race 1. A great race, Race 1. Fox, you gotta admit, man, that was some exciting racing there between One Space and Nestoza, Matchbox, Rosta. What are your thoughts on that?
Race 1 was definitely a top-notch race. A lot of good, hard racing going on at the front. Unfortunately, Nestoza ended up with the short end of the stick, ended up on his roof, had a full course caution, and just some unbelievable running between Ryan Wingate and Matchbox, and everything done very well, very professionally in the dry. But now we've got Race 2 on our hands, and weather looks like it's going to be a huge factor. Foggy, rainy. All you can see is headlights. You can't even see what cars they are until they're almost on top of you. So,
well, they wanted to race in heavy fog or some kind of rain right now, but yeah, we definitely got rain in the forecast. So we want to give these guys the adverse conditions warm up 5 minutes. Make sure they have all their settings, their wet tires, pit strategies all set, their fuel, their damage, because there's definitely going to be some broken wings and some broken noses here at Spa. 50-minute race coming up. Again, this is a default series setup, so it's all about the driver. I'm excited, man. To watch guys like One Space drive from the back after that big crash. Of course, Ghost spinning out with Matchbox on lap 1. I told him right now, I said, Ghost, you got to slow your roll, buddy. I mean, you threw away a win, I think. That Bentley had enough pace, I think, to stay in front of One Space and Nestoza had he got out front. But unfortunately, he didn't do that, and ended up in the back, the rear with the gear, ended up finishing second. So,
and as we've seen here at Spa, especially in the dry race, it's not going to matter as much in the wet, but in the dry, like you said, Ghost had the pace, and clean air is king here on this high-speed track. So
absolutely.
I think Ghost could have definitely made a run for the front and probably kept it there. He definitely would have had his hands full with the 2 Mercedes. But you just never know. I mean, 2 high-class drivers, one stopping Nestoza going at it, and, it ended in tears for Nestoza, so...
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. It's not over until the fat lady sings, and boy howdy, she wasn't singing until the very end for Matchbox and Ryan Wingate.
Oh, absolutely. And, again, Ryan Wingate with a fantastic drive, man. I mean, you got to be impressed with Wingate's drive, man. I mean, battling it out with Matchbox, staying in the back there with Nestoza on One Space, drivers that clearly had a little bit more pace than him, but still hanging on there, staying in the fight, almost taking that third step, but just dropping the ball there. As he said, he had a little penalty there, had to slow down, and that gave Matchbox the momentum to get around him and take that third spot.
And the fog is just going to wreak havoc on these guys. I mean, if something happens at the front or happens in front of you, I mean, you're not going to see it until you're almost on top of it. So, especially if a car happens to be sideways, there's no lights to see. You're going to be coming up on a wall. So the weather definitely going to be a factor here. It's always good to see a weather race. The rain is always the great equalizer. So who can show their wet weather prowess is going to be interesting to see. Just because you're fast in the dry doesn't make you fast in the wet, that's for sure. And I think some other drivers in real life have definitely proven that. I mean, Michael Schumacher was always king in the wet. I mean, obviously king in the dry as well. All time
dragging in the wall here. Speaking of crashing, Dragon already crashing in the wall here in P13. He's already knocked that
that
Cadillac.
Is unfortunate for Dragon. He's he had a tumultuous first race.
Yeah.
I believe he gets to start on pole, but in an effort like that, he's not going to stay up front very long, unfortunately.
No. I agree. So he's limping back to the pit road here. Yeah, he's definitely shortened that Cadillac up about a foot or two. But yeah, he's gonna have his hands full starting pole there. I've given him instructions on how to do it and where to go. He said he was gonna start at the start-finish line on the straight up to Rouge. So it's gonna be a single file start with Dragon at the point. When they get to the bus stop, though, I'm sure he's gonna have guys on his left and his right trying to get around him there. So let's see if he can't hold that Cadillac down and at least lead a lap or two. But
It'd
again,
definitely be good to see some of the guys like that have to, be able to be out in front like that. I think it's a great opportunity for them to, run in some clean air and see what it's like to race, trying to hold somebody off like that. Instead of always chasing somebody, you finally get the opportunity to at least, defend.
Fend them off. Yeah, definitely. Well, it gives them experience. It's a great confidence booster to be out front, regardless of whether you got pole or not. All at that moment is that, hey, I'm in the front row of the starting grid at Spa-Francorchamps, a GT3 race. Your heart's got to be beat 100 miles an hour, man. I'm definitely excited for Dragon, and we'll see if he can't, at least, like I said, lead a lap or two. Right behind him is going to be I believe it was going to be Blaze, but it's going to be Edward Kendrick since he dropped out. Farkey was going to be starting in the back as well. So those three are going to be in the back.
There's a couple of drivers that dropped off last race that we didn't even really notice until it was too late in the going. I mean, Hendrick walked away quietly. We didn't even know it. Farkey walked away quietly. And Farkey actually had a halfway decent run going there for a little while.
Yeah, he just said his thing. He couldn't finish the race. But Toka, I had invited him in, and I don't know if he made the session or not. I had invited him in qualifying. There was still some time left, but I don't know if he made the cut or not. But he's definitely in now, and we'll see where he's going to start in the back. So, yeah, these guys are fast. We'll see if they can't finish the race. I can't believe Hendrick. I messaged him right now. I asked him what was wrong. He didn't respond. So, obviously not happy with his result. They were up to, third and fourth, him and Mr. Hayne, and then they went back down to 9th and 10th. And
it was a very up-and-down day for Team Audi. I feel like that they probably had a lot more in it. I mean, Mr. Hayne, obviously your championship points leader. I mean, his day was definitely up and down, and definitely took a shot in the points today. One stop, taking the win.
One space.
But it'll be interesting with the reverse grid, though, to see, the time differences and in the wet. I mean, right now it just looks like it's a little foggy. It doesn't look like the rain's really started to come down yet, but it'll be different to see the time differences between these guys. I mean, obviously nobody really set a qualifying time. They're going to, set the grid on their own formation lap. But I mean, really, the guys starting in the back that were fastest, I mean, Ghost, we saw how aggressive he was in qualifying. We saw how aggressive he was on the start. Him starting in the back, I mean, it could be an amazing drive or it could be an absolute disaster. So getting ready for this wet weather race. So they're lined up currently, not how they will start this race, but Ghost is going to be in the Bentley, Farkey running in that GMP Porsche 911, Winchester in the golf-colored AMG Mercedes, Ryan Wingate in the Hurricane. We've got the Toraka in the Ferrari. Is that a 488? Or is it a 460? I can't remember in this game. We've got one stop in the Mercedes-Benz Hot Wheels car, your race one winner. Snoopa Doopa in the Lamborghini. T-Bax in the other Lamborghini. And then we got Mr. Hayne in the Audi. Matchbox in the Porsche 911. Hendrick also in the Audi. Dragon, who will be starting on pole, since he was dead last, reverse grid order. He'll be starting on pole in the Cadillac ATS. And then we've got Death Pusher in the Bentley. That's going to round out your 14 drivers. So the light's going to go green, but we are going to...
Rolling start. Easy. There we go. So the slower cars are going to be coming up to the front here. The cars that, like you said, started finished in the last spots here are going to be in the front of the grid here. So looks like everybody's got it together here. There's no tire warming allowed here as they do in the block paint series in the European. I guess what series is that? They don't do tire warming, and I think it is the block paint series, the North American block paint. European drivers, they do a lot of tire warming, and I know when they come race in the block paint series here, they get pinged a lot during the cautions when they're weaving back and forth. So again, we're limiting tire warming to 0 here because of chance of contact. It just adds to the wait delay of the start. If somebody's got contact, they got to go in and fix it, and it just wreaks havoc with it. So. Looks like they're taking it easy, parade formation here, waving at all the fans here. That's right. Get your Hendrick blow-up dolls and, of course, Astra Chaps available now at the Hendrick trailer. Also get your FARQ barbecue pits, the FARQ barbecue pit, and the oven mitt available now. What about the KAMIKAZE-FOX hand puppet? That's what I want, man. Are there any of those in the trailer there?
They're sold out.
Sold out with a Kung Fu grip. Yeah.
Apparently it was a real popular item this week.
That's what it was, yeah.
So Dragon leading them down the Kemmel Straight here on the formation lap. Going to be your pole sitter. He's followed by Winchester in that AMG Golf Mercedes. And T-Bac's going to be starting in third in that Lamborghini. I think that'll be interesting to watch him start from third. Snoopa Doopa had a pretty good run. He'll be starting in fourth. I think he'll be interesting to see as well. And Mr. Hain, championship points leader, starting in fifth. He was running in fifth until he ran into some problems late in the going. He could be dangerous. He could be the dark horse this race and possibly be the Dragon Slayer if he gets his way to the front.
Well, he's almost starting in the same position that he did in the last race. Didn't he start in P5 in the last race as well?
I believe he did. He actually qualified fifth. And you've got Death Pusher in sixth.
Whoa. Going a little wide there.
Ryan Wingate will be starting in seventh. Matt Box behind him, starting in eighth. Ghost starting in ninth, and we know how aggressive he's been. We talked about it already, and that's going to be one to watch.
We saw it.
One Stop will be starting in the 10th spot. And then Hendrick, who didn't finish the race, and Taraka, who did not participate in the race. And then FARQ did not finish the race as well.
Actually, his name is Tokutta from the Mad Max movie. Tokutta.
Tokutta, okay.
Tokutta, yeah. Taraka, that's a good one. There's Farquhar and Taraka. Taraka. They sound like a bunch of cavemen. Farq. Hey, this is a G-rated program, sir. So watch the language there. So Dragon leading around here. He's gonna go green once they get around the horseshoe there and take it around. What's that corner where Grosjean crashed at that one time in F1? That he's under that front straightaway, the old front straightaway. What corner do they call that? What do they call that?
The heading into the first corner. That
yeah. Mm-hmm. I should download a map.
That is La Source, is what they call that.
La Source. Okay, well.
Yeah, La Source is the first corner. Basically, you head to La Source, which is that tight hairpin, and then Eau Rouge is at the bottom of the hill, and then Radion is at the top of the hill.
Right.
And then you have Kemmel, or the Kemmel Straight, I should say, and that heads down to Les Combs.
So Winchester is definitely going to try to make a move early on here. As soon as he has the opportunity to go green, he's going to try to get underneath that Cadillac. I can already see it now. He's just,
well, I can tell you right now, from the way those cars are set up, there's a little bit of turbo lag in that Cadillac with that turbocharged V6, and the torque monster of the Mercedes, I think, is going to have a good jump. As long as he doesn't get too much wheel spin and he modulates that throttle okay, he could get a good jump. The other thing, too, is that he's going to start this on the other side of La Source. Not here, but on the other side. So you're definitely going to want to go single file down the hill.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Now watch Winchester here. He's definitely going to try to root and gouge his way up the hill. He's going to try to move that Cadillac over. He's very aggressive. Whoa!
Oh, Dragon goes in a little hot. Here we go.
Whoa.
And we are underway as they head down the hill.
And David Curry taking the pole position here and starting the race here at Spa GT3 Gunslingers Series for the Phoenix Motorsports group here. Up the hill he goes. Oh, way wide there. Oh, he's not the only one going way wide. There's another one way out there.
Oh, who is that?
I don't know, but whoever that was went way out there. Oh my God! Here he goes. There goes Winchester. Definitely looking to the left. Lights are flashing back here. That's going to be Snoopa trying to put pressure at Winchester. Oh, David Curry!
Side by side through Les Combs into the S's.
Oh yeah! Good.
Oh, the Cadillac gets loose coming out of the corner. Here comes Snoopa Doopa to the inside.
Yo! And there's Ghost right there trying to make a move. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh, but here comes Ghost.
So Dragon.
Oh, and he's big time into the inside, and he hits Snoopa Doopa, pushes him wide, and Snoopa comes back at him. And I don't think Snoopa's too happy with that move. It looks like he might have a little bit of fender damage, and Ghost now going to the outside of Dragon, trying to get to the inside of him.
Well, Dragon had to roll out of the throttle there, and that's what checked him up. All of them checked up.
Oh, the big hit by Dragon! And Ghost!
Ghost hit Dragon. Oh, one space hits Dragon as well. Oh, so David Curry went sideways. Ghost actually hit him from behind and sent Dragon spinning. There's Death Pusher.
And Death Pusher's falling through the order as well.
Oh, my God.
And so Dragon, unfortunately, is now in 10th.
Are they cautioning him up? What are they doing here?
We're going to pick up Winchester. Looks like Winchester's off to the races. Snoopa Doopa, meanwhile, he's got the Mr. Hain all over the back of him.
So they're still racing. Ghost, a big hit on Dragon. I'm trying to see the front end of his car here. And not too much damage. A little bit, not very much. Again, gets away with a lot of the visual damage. So he said he was up to 6 on the damage meter with that contact that he had against the wall there in the first race.
Oh, and it looks like they have gone full course caution.
They are cautioning up here. So good deal with that. They're going to try to get organized here. Who's going to pit? Who's not going to pit? I wonder if Ghost is going to go in. I know definitely David Curry needs to go in there and get that Cadillac re-straightened out there, man. That's got to be some suspension damage because he took a big shot from Ghost and then another shot from one space.
That's too bad for Dragon there. Not how he wanted to have this race running in second when it happened. And one space and Ghost, I mean, they both had altercations in the first race. And it looks like one space is heading into the pits, and so is Ghost. So they're going to be at the back of the field again.
Yeah.
We'll pick up Winchester.
Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Well, they were starting in the back of the field anyway, but they got to have fresh tires. They got to have 2 lap fresher tires than the rest of the group here. So.
Yeah, but I mean, the first lap was under, the formation lap, and now this one's going to be under caution. So tire temps are still going to be down for a lot of these guys. It's not going to matter.
Right.
And
I agree,
the other thing too is that with Ghost and one space in the pits, I mean, it's a caution lap, so they're still going to be bunched up at the back of this field.
So Farkey, one space, toe cutter, and Ghost all in the pits here, trying to repair damage. Ghost, the first one out, and he's scurrying off now, currently at P10.
I'm surprised Dragon has stayed out. He stayed out. He didn't go to the pits, and he's running in the 8th spot.
He's got nothing to lose, man. He's got nothing to lose by staying out there like that. I mean, he wants to stay out front of these guys, and I think that's. I would have pit personally, but I mean, I can see his reasoning for it. Maybe he didn't get as much damage as we originally thought.
I mean, the hood's definitely buckled on that car. I mean, maybe he doesn't have suspension damage, but he's definitely got some aero damage for sure.
Absolutely. Well, again.
And if you're going to pit, you might as well do it under caution because it's going to take them a while to get around this track.
Yeah, they're going to do it again the same way.
I think Dragon definitely has made a bad call here, not going into pit.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
You can see one space is already back out.
He's going to catch it back up there because Ghost came out first. Then it's toe cutter, one space, and then Farq. So Brian Bedlow all the way back to P12, race winner of race 1 here. So let's see. I'm sure he could drive through the field. I mean, he's definitely shown his racecraft and his driving prowess. But again, anything can happen when you have a wet track and cars in front of you slipping and sliding. So it's going to be a a minefield for him to walk through. And hopefully he'll be able to tiptoe his way through to another victory.
And the worst part is the rain hasn't even come yet. This was their chance to separate themselves. This was
sure.
the chance for the drivers to set in some hot laps, try and separate themselves, especially the leaders from the rest of the pack. And unfortunately, I mean, it's great that they've done the full course caution, but the rain's going to be coming at any time, and they're going to have to be bunched up again. So wet weather going to be a factor here shortly, I'm sure.
I would say within about the 25-minute mark, somewhere in there roughly. Well, it's gonna be interesting to find out where Winchester goes green at. Now David went as soon as he made the corner and started speeding up there. He started accelerating there. He wasn't up to full song until at least he crossed the stripe. But Winchester, he's a crafty devil. He might try to do the old what's that maneuver they call where they slow everybody down, bunch them all up, and then he shoots off, kind of like a slinky type maneuver, like a little
right.
Like a snake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we'll see how he does that. Look at all the cars are really tight now together. They don't want to have that same mistake and get spread out like they did there. But yeah, they're all within a half a car length of each other. That's really great racing there. Tight stuff, tight formation, and Winchester just leading him around real slow, man. I don't trust that guy, man. He's a slippery devil, man, for sure.
Well, he's taking him all the way down to the chicane, so at this point I'm thinking he's probably going to end up going green at the start-finish line, which I appreciate from,
Me too.
For whatever reason, it seems to be a European thing to just go when you feel like it. I like the American version where you go at the start-finish. It seems to make sense. So he comes out of the chicane and...
Not yet. Whoa. Who's that behind Mr. Hain here? Rosta getting racy. Pushing Hain a little bit there.
And there he goes. I think he's on it.
Yeah, he's definitely on it now. He crossed the start
he's on it
line.
now. Here we go. Green.
So, Rosta goes wide. Matchbox just underneath him.
Oh, and Matchbox and Rosta just can't get away from each other at all today.
Oh, my God. Whoa.
And T-Back's coming off of the curbs. He almost lost the back end of the car.
I saw that. He almost looped that thing.
Oh, and look at this. Ryan Wingate behind Matchbox, and he's got to be tired of looking at the back of that Porsche.
Oh, he said that Lamborghini was not conducive to good driving there in that dirty air. And, he's got... Oh, that's Hendrick getting around
Hendrick with a great move up there through the Kemmel Straight.
Man. So Hendrick looking for a bit of redemption here. Trying to
look at one space. What is up with this Mercedes? It is just a rocket ship.
Where is he? He is.
He's currently in ninth.
Ninth, I got him here.
He's battling it out with Ghost.
Yeah, he got around Ghost there, or he's
now he's in eighth.
He did get around Ghost. Yeah, because Ghost came out before him. So losing that position was Ghost to one space. So wow.
And speaking of Mercedes, Winchester is starting to check out here on Snoopa Doopa. Almost the second gap over that second place car.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Winchester's got that legs of the Mercedes, and that's what he really wanted, was to start in clean air.
Yeah, clean air is going to be king here, and it's not going to matter here in a little while when the wet weather starts to come.
No, not at all.
But you can see Mr. Hain is now running in third. He's got Matchbox all over the back of him.
Mr. Hain's a great wet weather driver. So is Matchbox.
In one space, trying to make a power move. He's up into seventh now. He got around Death Pusher, and he's brought Ghost with him. So Death Pusher loses 2 spots in 2 corners. And now he's all over the back of Ryan Wingate.
Now, we saw what happened with last time. Rosa went way wide there, and one space had an easy pick. And look at that! Oh!
And this Mercedes, in one space, I mean, they're going together like bread and butter.
Absolutely.
I mean, the car is just fitting his driving style, and he's able to work it. And it's just unbelievable how much speed he's got over the rest of these cars.
On the back bumper of Hendrick.
Oh, here comes Ghost all the way to the inside.
Oh, no! They're rooting and gouging. They're beating and banging. Brad Bellow says, I'm not having none of that. And Jack's one space.
And Ghost tries to get the power back down and bops off of the curb. Almost takes out Ryan Wingate.
Wow. So Brian Bellow just holding his own there and saying, no, sir, Bob or Rooney. We're not having none of that. And just hangs tough. Good job there from one space. I was going to call him one stop. But you got to be calling him one stop.
And Wingate loses another spot to Ghost. So Wingate is now down into the 8th spot. Ghost up into 7th.
on board with Roadster
And
236.
Mr. Hayne has made the move past Matchbox up into the second spot, and he's closing the gap to Winchester.
So Mr. Hayne in that Audi, I guess semi-clean air here. Let's see if he can bust a move here. Now, Winchester is just about as crusty as Mr. Hayne here. Mr. Hayne's a little bit more refined in his picking and choosing of when he's going to pass. I guess you would call Winchester more of a barbarian type clubber. He's just going to go. He's a berserker. But Mr. Hayne,
Mr. Hayne a little bit more methodical in where he decides to make his moves.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more polished when it comes to that. So let's see if we can find an opening here. If Winchester leaves a gap from here.
And now the top three have separated themselves from the rest of this pack. Hendrick is running in fourth, but he's about 2 seconds behind. Actually, 3 seconds behind the battle for the front three spots.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with Matchbox here. He's right on the back bumper of Mr. Hayne, watching if Mr. Hayne can get around. Ooh, goes a little wide there. Get around Winchester. Oh, he's right there. Come on.
We're watching Ghost all over the back of one space now in the Mercedes, and it's a battle of the V8s there. The brute force of the V8 from the Mercedes and the Bentley battling out two big, heavy cars.
That Bentley sounds like a tank, man. Oh, I mean, that thing sounds like a grumbling dinosaur, man. I love it, man. That thing's deep.
Oh, look at this one space to the inside.
I see it.
Oh, and he's going to get by Snupa. Snupa has to run wide. Now it's 3 wide down the backstretch. Oh, they make contact. Oh, that's a huge wreck. One space on his roof. One space is done. Ghost is into the wall. Unbelievable crash, and we should really go yellow, yellow, yellow.
Yeah, caution definitely out. Brian Bedlow out of the race here on his lid. Look at that. On his lid. Window net's still up on that machine. Corner workers not trying to. Wow,
and
look at that.
is into the pits as well. Massive damage to him. And that is just
a tumultuous accident. Wow. Payback, karma, whatever. Look at that. One space machine is done. Let me see if I can get him on the horn here. And
it looks like Winchester has slowed down at the top of Radion now to let the group rebunch. And
wow.
Get one space. Wow. One space is bringing the car into the pits now. Wow, that thing is just mangled.
I'm going to have to tell him to retire because he reset. He was upside down. His day's over, pretty much. Well, you're upside down, your day's over. Let's see here. So,
and that is that is amazing. That
was a crazy wreck, man. I was on board with one space. I mean, I'm sorry, with Ghost as one space was on his lid there. So I gotta tell him, come on, Brian, come on, load up, PS button.
So second full course caution of this race, and we haven't even had to deal with the wet weather yet. So I would hate to see what's going to happen with these drivers when the rain starts to come. Definitely in the forecast. You can see the clouds starting to roll in. It's getting a little dark there in the background. So Winchester still your leader. Mr. Hayne has moved into the second spot. Matchbox is now in the third. Hendrick has clawed his way into fourth. And Ryan Wingate, despite all the stuff going on track around him, he's been able to stay in the fifth spot. Death Pusher's now into sixth. Toe Cutter is into seventh. Far Q into eighth.
Yeah, I think Ryan has to... One space needs to retire here. If I can get the PlayStation app to come up here.
And Snoopa Doopa in the ninth spot trying to catch up to the pack. T-Bax is running in 10th, and Ghost has been in and out of the pits, and that is a one mangled Bentley, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and,
he's not gonna go far with that.
He's in the 11th spot. So one space is actually out on track. He does need to retire.
Yeah,
if he does not retire, he will not be credited with a finish for this race. And Dragon, your pole sitter, unfortunately, is looks like he's taken this time to pit. He's now on the Kemmel Straight, and his car is still banged up from the earlier accident. He is currently running in 13th. Actually, I should say 12th, because one space is... and it looks like one space is pulling off to the side.
Yeah, he got it.
And it looks like he will be done for the day. So one space done, so that moves Dragon into 12th. So we started with... started with Dragon on pole, and he is all the way to the back. One space done for the day. That's crazy. 2 races, Nestoza and one space. The 2 Mercedes that really were the top dogs, looking like from practice earlier in the week. They looked unstoppable, but aggressive driving has called them out on both occasions.
Wow. So one space in the garage now. Let's see if we can get an interview with him. Let me see if I can get him up here in the booth here. He's probably not going to want to talk, but what can I tell you? What a race! What so far it's unfolding. I didn't expect this. I know you didn't either. One space on his lid early on with Ghost. Ghost was anticipating a good race here.
I mean, it was a 3 wide heading into that dog leg. I mean, again, that's just not going to work.
Yeah,
3 wide. You can go 2 wide there, but 3 wide's not going to work on this track. And,
that was just an accident waiting to happen.
So here we go. Winchester leading him back to green once again.
All right. So here we go.
And green, green, green. Looks
He's
like
off.
he is on the loud pedal, and here we go down into turn 1, La Source. Oh, and Hendrick looks like he's trying to make a move early. Oh, he gets to the inside of Matt's box.
Wow.
Trying to get the power down, and here comes Ryan Wingate. Now, guys, let's not go side by side into Eau Rouge and have ourselves another caution. But that looks exactly like what Hendrick's trying to do. Tucks back in line, luckily, at the bottom of the hill. And here comes Wingate to the top of Radion, runs very wide. And that Lamborghini just does not like dirty air whatsoever.
Not at all.
A lot of shuffling going on in the back. Cars running side by side. T-Back's looking to make a move. Oh, and he's going to... Oh, he threads the needle 3 wide. And T-Bax gets a 2-for-1 deal heading into Les Combs. Great move by T-Bax. And we've got... RQ is being pursued by Ghost for the 8th spot. But there is a battle up front now. Winchester's checked out a little bit by a second. Mr. Haynes under pressure from Matt's box. And right behind him is Hendrick. Oh no, and Hendrick goes around, he's hard into the wall. Oh, and look at this, the Porsche. Oh no. Hendrick, where's the Porsche?
Oh, that's Farku.
Farku has gone around. Hendrick into the wall.
Where is he? There he comes. Oh, heavy damage on that car.
Oh, yeah, big time. The right front is clobbered as he went nose first on the wall. Hendrick is going to be kicking himself in the butt. I can hear it now. Meanwhile, while all this is unfolding, Mr. Hayne is looking to make a move on Winchester back at the front for the battle for the first spot. When he drops the right sides in the grass. Here we go down towards the bus stop chicane. Mr. Hayne not close enough to make a move unless he sends it in deep. He's not going to. As Six Gun Johnny said earlier, he's a little bit more methodical about where he wants to pass and how he wants to do it. It's a good run coming out of the chicane down towards turn 1, La Source. Winchester trying to take a defensive line and take that inside line away from him. Matt's box is all over the back now. You can throw a blanket over the top 3 cars.
Absolutely.
Good
Hendrick peels up now.
Source.
Hendrick in the pits now, as well as a Snoopa Dupa. So, where are you at now? Mr. Hayne battling in there. Look at that. Top 3. Matt's box flashing his lights at Mr. Hayne. Up the hill they go. Whoa, boy.
I don't think Mr. Hayne's going to be one to get rattled by a couple of flashing lights. Matt's box is going to have to do better than that.
Whoa!
And he's got a good run. Slipstreaming. And he's going to get a double slipstream as he tucks in behind Winchester.
And pushes his way past Mr.
This
Hayne.
is going to be... Oh, it's
Mr.
going to be tight coming in here. Oh, he makes contact and around goes Matchbox. And, oh no, he gets clobbered by Ryan Wingate. Wingate's into the wall. And Winchester's going to skip away. Here comes Death Pusher trying to make his way through the field, through the melee.
Wow, it hasn't even started raining yet, man.
This second race has been unbelievable to watch. And it has been a mess. And this Winchester is just... He is just dancing his way to a 5-second gap now.
Mr. Hayne with big damage.
Mr. Hayne's got big damage. And around goes Death Pusher. Death Pusher's going to move into the 3rd spot. Ryan Wingate's going to move up.
Ryan took a...
No, Ryan cuts back in line.
Yeah, he gave a good shot there. Oh, Mr. Hay goes wide there. He can't keep that car.
And the rain is starting to fall.
What did I tell you? Right at the 25-minute mark, I knew I was right on the time there. So, wow.
And T-Bax is looking to make a move on Wingate for the 5th spot.
Well, this is their opportunity to pit and fix that damage to get back in the fight here with wet tires, fresh wet tires. Everybody's going to have to pit, so this is almost as good as a full course caution. But these guys with damage need to come in right now. This very lap here. Don't pass the pits and go around. There's going to be some drivers that elect to go around and try it one more time, but I wouldn't advise that at all.
I think if you have the damage, you need to pit now and just suck it up. Chances are the guys leading at the front are going to try and stay out. T-Bax gets hit, knocked it to the wall. And now he's got right front damage.
Oh, my God. That was Mr. Hayne there going a little wide there. And look at that. There's Ghost.
Well, Mr. Hayne, you can tell the car is struggling for grip right now. He's got suspension damage. He's got aero damage.
Yeah. They're coming in. Oh, Rosa stays out. Hayne goes in.
Ryan Wingate's going to stay out, and he's going to gamble on an extra lap of slicks. And T-Bax is going to come with him, and so is Ghost.
Oh, my God. So, Rosa in P1.
So, Ryan Wingate. Now, it'll be interesting to see how much time he loses, if any, running on these slicks. I can only imagine he's only going to run this one extra lap to try and make up for it.
Well, I tell you what, Rosa 236...
Now, it looks like Matchbox is going to be the first one out of the pits on wet tires.
Rosa 236 is probably my oldest ministry member, Phoenix Motorsports member. Joined my league when I first started it here, this latest league. He's been with me about 4 years now. He's run 1 million wet weather races. If anybody could get her on this track and make some time, it would be him. He's got probably some of the better experience, some of the most experience, should I say, than most of these guys out here. So let's see if Ryan can put all that schooling and training to play here, being chased by the marauding Ghost. That Benny wants to get around in a bad way. He wants it so bad he's staying out. He's gambling, like you said, on the slick tires. But will he realize what's happening? Because I know Rosa knows what's going on. Rosa's driving like he's supposed to. Look at that. He's taking his time. He's easy into the corners, easy in and easy out. But look at Ghost pushing a little wide there.
There are so many wounded cars on the track right now, and I think right now Matchbox is in the catbird seat. He's got a little bit of aero damage on the right front corner, but he was the first one out of the pits. He should be on wet tires.
I wonder if he fixed his damage. I guess not, right? He came out that quick, though.
He did come out quick because Winchester was leading when they came in, but Winchester's fallen all the way back to 5th, and he is like 15 seconds behind Matchbox.
Where is Matchbox? I don't see him on the...
He's running in 4th.
Oh, there he is. He's in 4th. Okay, I see him now. Okay. So, Ghost, again, not able to... he's trying to get around Rosa, but again, Rosa's just running his normal line here, and Ghost just can't seem to get the speed to get around him here. Let's see if Ryan gives a little gas here. So far, so good. No spin, no wheel spin, no...
I think if Ghost should just hold his position if he plans on pitting, because chances are Wingate's going to be heading in this lap as well. So you're this far into the lap, you're almost to the chicane. Just hold your position, don't do anything stupid, and just go into the pits.
There's no point in passing him right now. Good job. There he goes.
Ghost is going to stay out one more lap. He wants to try one more lap.
Not a good idea. The rain is going to be coming here, folks, and he's not going to be... By the time he gets to the top of the mountain, it's going to be soaking wet up there.
T-Bax is heading to the pits as well, so that's... Oh, and look at this Matchbox. Looks like he did make a mistake, and he probably didn't put on the wets. It looks like he might have gone in and come back out. So Matchbox, we thought he might have made the switch to the wets, and it looks like he didn't. So Winchester now...
Back up to P1.
Winchester is going to... Ghost is going to be P1, but for all intents and purposes, Winchester is going to be your leader when Ghost pits.
So Ghost, Rosa's still showing P2 here.
Ryan Wingate's still in the pits.
And there goes Winchester. Now he's in P2. So he's coming around the corner here. Rosa's still... Here he comes. He's out. Rosa 236 is out, so he's going to come out of P3. Hopefully, if Death Pusher... He can beat Death Pusher on the corner here. Here he goes. And where's Death Pusher?
It's a drag race.
Oh, boy. Ryan wants to get in front of Death Pusher. He does not want to get in front of him here.
Death Pusher's got it.
God, good job. Oh! Okay, so what Rosa needs to do is just settle down, let those tires come in, don't overdrive the car, stay out of that dirty air, but still close enough to where he doesn't let Death Pusher get away. And,
I think everybody just needs to settle down at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they're all scattered out now. They're all spread out. But
I don't think it's going to stay that way for long. A Winchester.
No. I'm watching Ghost here. He looks like he's getting around the track pretty good so far. There's still grip out there. But the rain is coming down a little bit harder this time. And we'll see how that ends. He's got front end damage. That hood is crumpled up on that car. So he's going to have to stay in there for a minute to get fixed, if he fixes his damage at all. We'll see what happens here. Oh, he's tiptoeing now.
Meanwhile, Ghost is checked out to a 26-second lead, but he's losing.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. He's tiptoeing right now. He's got
really
some
losing any
damage.
time, though. He's not losing a whole lot of time to Winchester.
No, not at all. But like I said, here he comes now down the dog leg, and he's going to bring it into the pits here. Little tap on the brakes there. It looks like there's still a little bit of grip out there, but I wouldn't have tried it. But I guess well done for Ghost for rolling the dice here. Let's see what he's got. Here he comes. No, he stays out.
Stay out.
Oh boy,
this is an interesting strategy.
Now I think he's really made an error.
Yeah, because the rain does look like it's starting to come down a little bit harder now. And in fact, I'm going to hop on board. Let's go on the roof cam and see what it's like.
I'm going to go inside the cockpit here on the Ghost machine, and we'll take a look. I agree. Oh, he's got the cracked windscreen. Hood is crumpled up. Upper roof he goes.
Oh, look at that cockpit view.
Yeah, he's beat down.
Buckled hood, broken windshield, rain. Exactly.
Yeah, not anything that you want to see as a driver at Spa, especially on slicks. This is a big, heavy car. It's going to be hard to hit for him to control if he gets into some kind of a hydroplaning action or some kind of spin. Look at that, through the bus stop.
Yeah, it looks like he's definitely, you can tell the track's definitely wet now. You're definitely starting to see the
rooster tails,
kind of like the sheen of the road, the reflection of it.
I don't see too much water coming off the back tires here, but it's definitely getting a little shiny out there. He's pushing hard still. Oh,
very wide coming out of that left-hander.
Wow.
And now he goes down to the double gauche, which is going to be that double apex left-hander where the car wants to wash out to begin with.
I see him getting 4 off here.
Oh, and yep, he's 4 off. Back in. He is definitely tiptoeing, but he's not losing any time, which is really surprising. Winchester's actually lost time. Winchester's running about 28 seconds behind now.
I'm watching some spray come off just a little bit here and there, some puddles as he's hitting them. So some water's starting to build up here on the track. But Ghost rolling the dice here, and wow, I guess this turned out to be a dang good decision here from the Ghost machine. He's going to definitely hold on to that lead. He's got 17 minutes and 26 seconds to go. Whoa! Now he's going a little wide. So I wouldn't try it again. There's a big spray right there coming off the
that backstretch has definitely got some. Yeah, you can definitely see the rooster tails coming off of the car now.
Whoa!
Looks like that section of the track. That section of the track is. You definitely see where the puddles are laid and where they're not.
So will he bring it to the house? I'm sure he will now. Yes, he. No!
Wow.
I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say about that. Is that insane?
Here's my take. He's probably watching timing and scoring. He knows he's not losing any time to Winchester, so why pit?
True
if you're not losing time right now, I mean, you don't want to wait until you're losing a huge amount of time, but the gap has stayed 25 to like 27 seconds.
Yeah. Wow. On slick tires. Go figure. What a great drive so far from Ghost. Didn't know he had it in him, but he certainly is proving his mettle here at Spa-Francorchamps in the GT3 Gunslinger Series. Keep that Bentley out for an extended period on slick tires in the wet. Very impressive.
Now he's out to a 29-second gap over Winchester.
So let's take a look at Winchester. What's going on with him? Is he struggling? He is struggling. Here he comes down the source now, around the source now, headed toward the Rouge. He's got the pedal down. But, oh, bless you, bless you, bless you. Bless you, bless you, bless you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get back up here to Ghost here. I'm not wishing anything bad on him, but I'm just kind of like waiting for the roof to crumble down and stuff. You know, I mean,
yeah, really kind of waiting for the ball to drop on this Bentley. I mean, he's got a large enough gap now. I mean, if he did pit, I mean, he would still come out behind Winchester, but it wouldn't be a huge gap. And Ghost has obviously proven that he's fast enough to make up the time. I think now would be the time to pit and really just make the switch.
Look at that puddle. Boosh. I mean, he's kicking up spray 20 feet long, 60 feet high. 60 feet high. Or should I say 60 feet long, 20 feet high? But here he comes. Around the bend he goes. Thanks for joining us. If you're just joining us now, you're missing a great race. Hey, Cisco Johnny, and of course, KAMIKAZE-FOX and Wallace the Dog. Broadcasting live right here from the Fortune of Speed with the Ministry of Speed at Phoenix Motorsports in sunny San Antonio. Fox is, where are you, Fox?
Maryland.
Maryland, there you go, the great state of Maryland. So we're bringing to you the GT3 Gunslingers.
We've
series,
got a battle for the 5th spot. Matchbox just got around Snooper Duper for the 5th spot.
We're bringing to you the GT3 Gunslingers
and
battle.
We've also
here.
got a battle for 7th. I hate to keep interrupting you, but
yeah,
Dragon
right.
trying to hold. Oh, Dragon's into the wall! Oh, Dragon's into the wall. He was trying to hold off Toe Cutter, and now he is into the wall, and he's sitting in the road.
Let's see if I can find him. There he is. Oh,
in the 9th spot.
Backwards. Easy, Dragon, easy. Before the chicane, there he goes right there. Okay, I see where he's at now.
Brian Wingate should be coming up on him any minute now. And here comes Wingate all the way down to the 10th spot.
On board now with Rosta as he works his way around. So the rain is coming into play here. Ghost has stayed out 3 extra laps, and again he stays out and is taking it around again one more time as the rain continues to fall. Ghost is on slick tires. So we were alluding to the fact that we're just kind of waiting for that to end here and him end up in the wall. But it looks like he's definitely managing his own with that big belly. And those slick tires in the wet. So very impressive from this young man. He wants to redeem himself from the last race at Long Beach where he actually was disqualified from the race for resetting to the track. I think he's learned his lesson. Again, wants to redeem himself and prove that he's a better driver than that. And he's certainly proving that today. A little aggressive at the first race, a little aggressive in the second race. One space messaging me a minute ago saying that Ghost is a little bit rough there, so we'll have the race stewards look at that after the race and see how that all plays out. But one space having to retire from the race after ending up on his roof after a altercation with Ghost here. So
I can tell you, I had a great view on my stream from what I was looking at, and I mean that was not that wreck was not really anybody's fault. I mean it was 3 wide. Super Duper got pushed wide and tried coming back on track, and he made contact with Ghost, and then they both just kind of caught wheels and went left, and that's what really caught one space. So, I mean, really, if you look back on the replay that I have, I mean, it really looks like a racing incident to me, and that's just 3 cars. That's just too many cars and too little real estate, and unfortunately, one space got the short end of the stick on that one.
I have to agree with you on that. I was on board with Ghost when that happened, and so I saw one space's car, his wheels in the windscreen there, and I saw his car going upside down. So I had a bird's eye view of the action. But here he comes around. Will he pit this time or will he stay out? The gap is still 29 seconds, and he's holding on to it.
The only thing I can think of is, unless he did pit earlier after one of the incidences for the yellow flags, the only thing I can think of is if he was the first one to switch to wets while it was still dry out and he's on wet tires and we just don't know it. I can't imagine he is running on slick still. If he is, it's an amazing drive if he's still running on slicks, traction control or not. I mean, you can't run this fast, this long on slicks in the wet. So, I mean, he's definitely putting in a great drive, but I'm just wondering if maybe he was one of the first drivers to switch to wets while it was still dry out and we never caught it.
He might have done that. He might have done that. And unfortunately, the game doesn't give us the an actual true reading on that, so it says hard slick on the screen there, but again, I don't know. Yeah,
and they all say hard slick, and I think that's because that's probably referring to our vehicle status since we are quote unquote retired in the pits. So that's probably what our vehicle status is. We're sitting in the pits on hard slicks. So I'm wondering if maybe he did switch to wets and we just never caught it. And Winchester, I mean, great run by him. He's 30 seconds behind though.
So I'm showing somebody in the chat here that says he's not on slicks. So BJ Hooligan saying that Ghost is not on slicks. I'm watching the chat there. Sorry about that. The eating thing and the distortion. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but I haven't tried to turn down a little bit here. I did turn my mic down, but yeah, okay. Sorry about all that. Yeah, so guess you were right on that call. He is definitely on the wet tire, and he's staying out, and he's about to take this to the bank here.
Yeah, I mean, 10 minutes left to play in this race, and I mean, I guess he made the call before anybody else, and we just missed it. That was the only thing I could think of, and it's definitely paid off for him. Unbelievable drive by Ghost to definitely make up for the Long Beach incident, and obviously make up for last race. I mean, granted, he had a great run to second, but not how he wanted it to go, unfortunately. Not after that.
He's out here.
That incident, Radion.
Who else do we have? What kind of battles do we have going on here? We don't have anything. Toe Cutter and Hendrick. Hendrick trying to make a move here on Toe Cutter. 3 seconds back. Oh, actually 4 seconds behind Toe Cutter. Toe Cutter 2 seconds behind Snoopa. And Matchbox, ways behind. So.
Yeah, so they're all spread out. I mean, it's it's ridiculous to think, but all the action happened in the dry. The wet weather hasn't been much of a factor at all.
9 minutes and 10 seconds to go.
Really surprising.
Give me a second here. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. 1 second.
So just to run down the running order, Ghost running all by his lonesome now out front, 27 seconds ahead of Winchester in the golf-colored Mercedes-Benz GT3 AMG. Death Pusher getting a little bit of pressure now from Mr. Hain in the Audi. So we do have a battle materializing for the last spot on the podium for that third spot. Mr. Hain, your championship points leader, and definitely a good wet weather driver according to Six Gun Johnny. So it'll be interesting to see how this one materializes. See if Death Pusher can hold him off. That's your battle for third right now. That's the closest battle on track. You go back a little bit, you pick up Matchbox 20 in the 5th spot, Snoopa Doopa in the 6th spot. And Toe Cutter is semi-close to him, trying to pick him up here. He's in the Ferrari. Behind him is Hendrick. Hendrick in that Audi, closing that gap a little bit. And T-Dax running in the 9th spot, Far Q in the 10th spot. Ryan Wingate's race has fallen apart. He is currently running in 11th. And he's got Dragon behind him for 12th. But the real battle that's going on here is going to be this battle here. This is the battle for third. Mr. Hain now, he's in the slipstream of the Matchbox in front of him, but he's also in that ridiculous amount of spray coming off of the heavy rain here at Spa-Francorchamps. Nothing new for Belgium to have some random weather. The clouds rolled in here on the mountain hills and down into the valley, and now Spa is having to deal with some nasty weather.
Back at it again. Sorry about that. Had let the dog out here. But yeah, we're all good to go.
Now we're just watching the battle here for the third spot. Death Pusher trying to hold off Mr. Hain here. This battle materialized over the last couple of laps. We were watching it as while you were away, and Mr. Hain definitely looking to make a move.
Okay, we're Mr. Hain. Okay, hang on 1 second here. Yeah, I also wanted to go to the restroom here at the very last inconvenient time here with 6 minutes and 42 seconds to go. Great race so far. What do you think, man? Who's going to take this Ghost with a tumultuous lead here? Almost a 28-second gap. I don't think Winchester has anything for him with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
Well, I just had Greg Baker comment on the live stream about how the Bentley looks like it's on rails, and from what I can tell, he's right. I mean, Ghost is just as banged up as that car is. It's on the wets. He made the right call at the right time, and I mean, he's well out in front. Winchester's going to have nothing for him. So I think Ghost easily walks away with this. Winchester easily walks away with a second place finish. The only thing really to watch right now is this Mr. Hain and Death Pusher battle here for the third spot, last spot on the podium.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Death Pusher and Mr. Hain. Here we go. Where are they? Here we go. Third spot on the podium. Yeah, definitely Mr. Hain on the back bumper there. Can he get around him? I'm sure he has enough speed in that Audi. But Death Pusher is on a tear. He's won the race at the last practice race we had here and at Watkins Glen back-to-back. So, there it is. He goes wide.
He's wide coming out of the corner. Oh, but Hayne tries to get the power down too early, and the car snaps to the right. Side by side. We know this doesn't work, guys.
There they go. Up the hill.
Ooh, that's close.
Oh,
that's
look
close.
at that
Pusher is all over the
God.
back of him. I mean, Haynes got the position for now, but I think Pusher's going to be able to make a comeback here going down the Kemble Straight.
Two Australians battling it out here for the last spot of the podium. It looks like it's going to be an all-Australian top three as the Aussies have just dominated here at Spa, taking a early lead and just hanging on to it. Matchbox battling it out here, Ghost battling it out here.
And Mr. Haynes been able to gap him.
Yeah, unfortunately, one space set sail and having to retire, man. That was just unfortunate for one space there. But yeah, other than that, all Australian top three so far. Let's see if Mr. Hayne can redeem himself from that first race there and get some more points and keep his points lead and of course keep out front racing in the fight. Where's Hendrick in all this? Hendrick is down in P7. Am I right?
He's trying to close that gap to Snoopa Doopa. But Hendrick with another... I mean, he's got the damage fixed on the Audi a little bit, but he's going to be definitely kicking himself in the butt for making that mistake early on, heading into the wall. But good for Mr. Hayne picking up that third spot. Looks like he's been able to gap Dead Pusher a little bit there in that Bentley, so... Top three looks like it's settled. Less than 4 minutes to play in this in the second race here in the wet.
So the first opening laps of this race were super exciting, and now as it's winding down here, everybody seems to have settled in to where they're going to finish. I don't see any close battles on the track at the moment. Toe Cutter and Snoopa Doopa within 2 or 3 seconds of each other here. Let's take a look at that.
Actually, it looks like Snoopa might have just had an incident because he lost a bunch of time, and here comes Toe Cutter.
Yeah,
Toe Cutter's closing that gap.
In that Ferrari, that's a Ferrari, isn't it? Yeah, Ferrari versus Lamborghini here. Wow. Yeah, he's definitely on a tear there. Look at Toe Cutter just taking it way out there, 4 off.
He's trying to keep that power down, keep that turbo spooled up. He's actually closing that gap pretty well, so we got a battle materializing for the 7th spot. Can Snoopa regain control and regain his composure from whatever just happened?
A great pad driver, obviously holding his own here, man. I'm glad I found him, and I'm glad he's having a good time here. Seems like a really nice guy. I think he's maturing into a really great pad driver, and he's being able to compete with these guys with these wheel setups. I know Mr. Hayne has got definitely a wheel setup. I know Winchester has. I know Ghost has. So, we'll see if he can't at least get a podium in the next few races here. But yeah, he's battling it out here. But here comes Toe Cutter. Oh man, he's right there. Great. Look at that. Ooh, little bit of snap there from Snoopa Doopa, but he's got that Lamborghini pointed in the right direction, and that's all that matters here. 29 seconds is the gap between Ghost and Winchester, and like you said, that's where it's been, and that's where it's going to stay, it looks like. 2 minutes and 2 minutes even now, 1:58. Would you say this would be white flag or the one after this?
Probably 2 more laps. So the next
going a little wide here.
Next time by should probably be... Well, and that's going to depend on where Ghost is on the track.
Let's find out where he is right now. He is with the hood crumpled.
And he's coming up to, looks like he's about to lap.
Here. Yeah. That's a far queue, I believe it is, in the Porsche. So lights are flashing for the far queue machine as Ghost.
So this will probably be white flag lap here.
There you go. Now we're in the white flag area here. So all these cars...
Unbelievable run by Ghost. I really got to give him props on this one. I mean, the beginning of this race was just very hectic. 2 full course cautions in the opening 4 laps. I'm surprised he threw on the wets when he did. I mean, we didn't catch it because the track was still very dry. But he knew the weather was coming, and he threw the wets on there when nobody else was even thinking about it. And he took care of them while they were running in the dry, and he was ready for the wet weather before anybody else.
That was a brilliant move. I mean, he only had to be out there with a lap or 2. I think it was like 2 laps on that wet tire, and then it started raining. So we thought for sure he was on the slick, but obviously,
yeah, I thought for sure. But I mean, he made that pit stop under that second caution, and I guess he made the right decision because he put those wets on, and running around those 2 laps under caution and letting the time tick off. You're not putting any stress on those wet tires because you're running under caution speed. So
right.
Great strategy call by Ghost. Wow. Props to him, and Winchester's probably scratching his head like, what the hell happened?
Unbelievable. So
props
Death
to Winchester.
Pusher,
good run to the second spot.
Death Pusher still can't close that gap. As a matter of fact, it's getting a lot wider. So no glory for him today other than P4, which is pretty good considering all the action that has happened on the track here. And Rosta is in P12 in that Lamborghini after having a great run in the second race. Beginning of this race was pretty good for him, but unfortunate for Mr. Wingate here. All the way to the back.
Yeah, he was caught up in one of those incidences on the restart, and a long pit stop, and then trying to get control of this car into the wet. This race is just falling apart for him, unfortunately. Looks like he's showing some good pace here on the white flag lap, but just hasn't come together for him.
A little bit too late here. So Ghost on the final sector here, about to bring it to the house here, and about to taste a victory to start his win streak, I guess would be one way to put it. He didn't sweep the weekend, but he swept the second race, literally swept the second race. Lights are flashing already.
He's already celebrating as he heads down to the chicane.
He knows. He's probably listening to us on the stream. So good job for Ghost as he comes around the final chicane here. Bras and panties raining down the Ghost machine as he comes across the stripe here, about to take victory at Spa-Francorchamps. Well done for the Bentley. The Audi Fong Bentley taking victory in race 2.
Props to Ghost.
Wow. That's a great run here. So Winchester.
That's going to be a big second place there for Winchester in the standings. And that's going to be a big confidence booster for him. Mid-pack driver like that comes in.
Now he got beat out of the pits, didn't he? Ghost beat him out of the pits, right? Is that right? Or I guess Ghost pitted early and then never had to pit when Winchester pitted. So Winchester never really had. Oh, he's around.
Winchester goes around.
Oh boy!
Don't celebrate too early, son, because Mr. Hayne's coming.
Yeah, a little bit too much welly in that final chicane. Here comes Mr. Hayne. A great podium for Mr. Hayne here after not having a great run the first race. Bringing it around the corner here, David Hayne in the 43 Rappa Audi, about to cross the stripe here. Great job from these guys. So top 3, Ghost, Winchester, and Mr. Hayne, followed by Death Pusher. Here he comes.
Death Pusher in the Bentley. That's a great run for him.
And Matt's Box bringing it around here.
He's beat that car up.
Oh my God. He's beat up pretty off that thing, and he's about to bring it to the house here, but I know he's glad this race is over.
That is a good points day for him between the 2 races, though.
And Hendrick weighs back.
He is going to be upset with himself after the first race and then making a mistake here in the second one in the wet. Good points day for Team Audi, but he was running tough towards the front when he made that mistake. So he's got the car fixed, and he'll come across.
He was up in the front. He was up in the front. Here he comes around the final chicane here. So Hendrick 88 Fly couldn't buzz his way to victory lane, but certainly buzzed his way to a top 10, finishing P6. Well done. And the toe cutter in his first race here at Spa missed the first race. In the second race here, not too bad. P7 in that Ferrari around the bend. He goes, still got that windshield wiper slapping back and forth like nobody's business. I don't see too much rain coming down there, but toe cutter finishing in the top 10, so not too bad. And for our pad driver, it's creeping around here. Oh, he's in the wall. Stupid duper in the wall hard here. Not too hard, but definitely hit the wall.
And he's lost the rear wing.
Oh, he got no downforce on that car.
That's not good because, oh my goodness, Farkew's car. Oh, and Farkew is into the wall as well. It looks like Farkew's had an incident. There's all kinds of stuff going on here in the back.
Wow, so Farkew beat that Porsche dead there. Look at that. No wing. His front end crumpled up there. He's got suspension damage. Oh, he's out of the wall. He's celebrating. That's what they're doing.
He hasn't even crossed the line.
He hasn't crossed the line yet, right? Yeah, here comes David Curry about to take that spot from Farkew here. Dragon from Dallas, Texas, about to bring it to the house here. Yeah, David definitely had a rough go there.
Yeah, he was your pole sitter. Unfortunately, his race didn't turn out the way he wanted it to.
But I got to give him props for sticking with it, man. I mean, he hung in there, and at least he finished. Look, he finished in front of Rosta. I mean, come on. At least he finished in front of somebody here. So that's going to be it, folks. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. KAMIKAZE-FOX, Wallace the Dog, and of course me, Six Gun Johnny, broadcasting up right here from the Fortress Speed with Phoenix Motorsports and the Ministry of Speed. So on the board right now, we have Edward Kindred. Hendrick, man, not the race you wanted. Unfortunately, Upfront Racing still had a good point stay with Mr. Hain. What happened, brother?
I don't know. It's just, I think it was just more or less the caution cycles that we're going through. Because once my tires were heated up, I was making some pretty good speed out of it, and I was actually catching people and passing them. So, but yeah, I don't know. I just came around that long sweeping left-hand corner. I was on right behind Hain and Rosta and Matt's box, and I just lost it and wound up nosing it into the corner.
Mr. Hain, hang on 1 second here. 1 second. No, I'll ask you a question. I just got to make an adjustment on one of my settings. 1 second here, because I couldn't hear. Let's see, so here and here. So, okay, Mr. Hain. Wow, what a great day. P3 for you, man. You got to be happy with that result after the first race. Tell me a little bit about your race and congratulations on that podium.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Yeah, it was a good fun race. Had a little bit of an incident, I think, with I think it was Matt's, was it? I'm not really sure. Not really sure what happened there, but it was a good. Yeah, it was a pretty good race. Nothing too much went wrong that time. The little spin in the first race wasn't real helpful. But,
how was the rain with that Audi there? I mean, your Audi looked like it was having a little bit more luck than Hendrick's Audi there.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. Brake bias is pretty important with it. If you had a little, brake bias too far back, it sort of the fronts were getting a bit cold and it was making it hard. So when I figured out that was not too bad.
Well, Mr. Hain, I got to hand it to you, man. A great race, a great recovery from the first race. I know me and Fox were definitely appreciating your drivability and your racecraft. Well done, man. Well done.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny.
All right. Ghost, are you in here?
Certainly am.
Ghost, man. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable, man. Now tell me, when you pitted with that damage the first time, did you put wet tires on? Is that why you stayed out?
The first time I went into the pits, I just fixed my damage and went back out. And then 2 laps, I think it was the next lap when we were green, had another accident with one space and that Lamborghini. I forget who was in it. And one space ended up getting hit into me, and I went into the wall. So, and then when I went into the pits, the next time I took the gamble. I looked at how long the clock was at, and it was at about 31 minutes left. So I took the gamble, put wets on, and I knew the rain would come soon. All I had to do was try and keep at least a 10-second gap from the leaders, and I knew I'd come out in front, and yeah, that's what happened.
Brilliant.
I mean, it was an unbelievable strategy. I mean, you had us fooled because we thought for sure you were still on slicks. And, I mean, you threw the wets on there when it was dry, and you kept them under control, and when the rain came in, you capitalized on it. So props to you on that. Unbelievable race strategy there. Big time win on that one.
Man, I'm speechless, man. That was just a fantastic drive all the way through, man. You had that car on rails. That's some of the viewers out there were commenting in the box that your car looked like it was hooked up, man. And impressive stuff, man. A great rebound from the Long Beach incident. We were messaging each other privately, and you said that you were going to redeem yourself and win the next 4 in a row. Well, you didn't get the first one, the second place, but you won this one. You're on your way to those 4, man. Congratulations again on your win. Brilliant victory, man. Awesome stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's see here. We got who else is in the room here? T-Bags, Lamborghini. You had a better run this time, man. What a run up there at the top of the hill at the bus stop, threading the needle between 2 cars, picking up 2 spots there, man. I mean, come on, you look like you were moving, brother, man. You had the jig shoes on, man. Great job from the Cowtown driver, man. Tell me about your race. Well, man, yeah, Lamborghini looked like it was, you were having fun driving it this time. The first race looked a little tough. This one looks a little bit more relaxed, man. And we hope to see you next week at Watkins Glen, man. Good job. All right, who else we got in the room here? Let's take a look. David, I know you're in here. Dragon, I'll tell you what, man. How did you like starting on pole there, man? Was that? Let me see who else is in here. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, Dragon. How did you like starting on pole there, man? That was looked like a fun run until all the action started happening there, man. Tell me about that.
If I was using a better car, it probably would have been a lot more enjoyable. The Cadillac just does not like having cold tires.
Was turbo lag an issue for you on the start there? Because Winchester just looked like he just gang raped you there, man, and just got around you.
It's just slow.
It's just slow.
Yeah.
Well, David, you have the opportunity to fix that. I mean, I already told you I'll get you another car, man. If you want to do that, but I'd like to see you competitive, a little bit more competitive. But still, man, I got to give you props and the all heart award tonight, man, because you had a rough 2 races, man. But you stuck to your guns, man, and I'm definitely impressed with that, man. Good job, man. All right, well, Kamikaze, I'll tell you what, man. It was a pleasure having you over here for the GT3 Gunslingers series. What do you think, man? Is this something that you'd like to put your hand in and take a shot next week at Watkins Glen?
I mean, if I have the time, I could definitely try and make it. You see how things work out next weekend, but I mean, it's always a pleasure to be in the booth with Johnny. And
thank you.
This is my first GT race commentating with you guys. And again, I just want to say really well done from all the drivers and how professional Absolutely. You guys were with the full course cautions and the gentleman's agreement you guys have with the retiring the cars the proper way. Yes. Shows a lot of maturity and professionalism within the league, and certainly that's going to go a long way trying to attract other drivers. And even if you guys did other series, I mean, that's something you guys can try and implement in other series for some of the younger guys out there that aren't as experienced, and it definitely shows some true professionalism. So props to all the drivers today. I want to give them a round of applause for that. And Dragon, I got to give you a round of applause too for sticking with it. I know that's a rough. I've been in that position, being the guy that's just having a bad day and can't get the car to work for him. But props to you for sticking it out. You didn't rage quit. You run the race, and you still finished in front of Ryan. So you still picked up more points than the next guy. So.
Sorry,
so it's not all for naught,
Yes, I guess I can say I didn't finish last in both races. I guess that counts for something.
You beat Rosta. Again, good stuff, man. I know that my drivers appreciate those compliments, Kamikaze, man. That's awesome stuff to hear. Thank you again. You've been the utmost professional, and of course, brought some stability to the booth here. I really appreciate that. Thank you again. And guys, next week we're going to Watkins Glen, so it'll be the same time, same bat channel, Saturday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stand by for that. We've had a couple of winners there already. I know Death Pusher has won there. So maybe we'll have a better run than he did today, but still P4 for him, not too bad. Yeah. With that said, Wallace the Dog, KAMIKAZE-FOX, and me are saying goodnight for now. And again, the winner here, Ghost, man. That's got to be the best run I've seen on wet tires in a long time, man.
Yeah, that was definitely top notch. Definitely top notch.
Man, that's one for the books here. Ghost, good job, man. Good freaking job, man. All right, we're out. See y'all later. Arrivederci, adios, and sayonara, suckers.
See y'all at the next round.
Yes, sir.